We're back. Only 4 minutes late. We'll talk about who we're going to blame for that in just a few minutes. But first, this is episode 243. I'm your host, Darkside. The Motoxpod show tonight is brought to you, as it always is, by our title sponsor, Cherubies USA, which for decades has been the leader in motoplastic and accessories, the products that fit perfect, look great, and last. Cherubies has what you need. Whether it's full plastic kits, individual pieces, handguards, chain guides and sliders, or anything else they offer, visit CherubysUSA.com today and support our title sponsor. And also, guys, go to Racetech. Get your oil changed, get your fluids fixed, revalve it, hit up Racetech, hit your local dealership up, your local service center up. Racetech is the world's largest aftermarket suspension modification company. All Racetech products include award-winning gold valves and settings are 100% guaranteed and made in the USA. Racetech also offers state-of-the-art precision engines and engine services and parts to all engine builders. Visit racetech.com for more info and use that promo code MOTOXPOD to save. You guys see my Instagram or my Twitter or my Facebook, you probably saw that YZ250 at blazing speed ripping around that track, and the PDR Racetech suspension soaked it all up, TJ. It was awesome. Good stuff.
It soaked up really well when you're casing through that rhythm section.
Did I do it on the two-stroke? I did it on your bike.
Oh, yeah, you just tried
I didn't do it on mine.
That's why I soaked it up so good.
Yeah, with your bars, with your 1 foot, 6-inch wide bars. Yeah, no, nothing.
Yeah,
okay,
nothing.
Fly Racing's on board. X brand goggles. Works Connection. Promo code MotoXPod20 if you want to go get a engraved master cylinder cover or pro launch start device, elite clutch perch, or an hour meter. Use that promo code MotoXPod20. Also, Torque One Racing, our jerky. Guys, I've heard you guys have been using the code. People have been ordering some jerky for snacks. MotoXPod21 to save. Get you some. Berm Lords Graphics and Jersey ID, as well as Shock Socks. Williams Motor Works, Extreme Colors Helmet Painting. Kirk hit me up today about painting a helmet for me. He wants to paint me a helmet for the Vet Worlds. Might have to let him do that. Blood Lubricants, promo code MotoX to save, so you can keep your bike running fresh. I was running the two-stroke blood lubricant oil in my two-stroke this weekend. Power Band Racing, TruFusion Sports. I am not sure if it's on camera right now, but Derek Kelley's company, TruFusion, this stuff has been helping me out in my recovery as I am now an official athlete with all my training I'm doing. And Grill Your Ass Off, promo code MotoXPod for the best seasoning on the market. Tonight, again, episode 243, we've got Team USA and Star Yamaha Racing's Justin Cooper, Factory Husky Malcom Stewart. First time Malcolm has ever been on this show. It's going to be good. I'm excited about that. He's a first-timer. We've been trying to get him on for years, TJ. You're looking at me like you didn't realize that. He has never been on the show. So Jordan Troxell, Ken Roczen's mechanic, he's going to jump on.
Another first.
True. Very true. Derek Rankin's going to come on. Jericho, he is wrenching for Freddy Noren at the BBMX team. He's going to come on. He says he has an announcement he wants to make. And we're going to do a check-in. We haven't done it in a while with Derek Kelley. And I have some beef with Derek Kelley.
That'll be
Derek,
interesting.
if you're watching now, if you're listening now, which I doubt you are, we got an issue. We're going to talk about it. We might have to cut the check-in, the DK check-in, but we'll get to it.
Ooh.
TJ, you're back.
I am.
I don't know how it happened. We usually try to schedule off weeks when you're in town.
Exactly. The last few months, every time I've been home, it's been like, well, I'm not doing a show.
Yeah, I've been busy, dude.
Well, I mean, you're putting things off and dropping the ball on the show just shows why we were late. You're the host of the show, so you're probably going to be the first one going, it was y'all's fault.
Host of the show.
It was y'all's fault. But not that we were actually behind because you didn't have your part done. Just saying.
He wasn't. If he had gotten here.
Oh, look, I told you, Scotty, he was going to try to blame you.
Scotty, if Scotty had gotten here, his job is technically to get all the work with the cameras. I usually have it ready so he doesn't have to do anything. As you said, training wheels.
Yes.
I didn't do it this week. So when he came in, he just said, oh, it's not on. Let me get the description going. Oh, I don't have the thumbnail yet. He could have done that a half hour ago.
But
Is this a bad time to tell you that the first 45 seconds didn't have sound?
Why? What'd you do wrong?
Because I didn't turn.
Because you didn't turn the fucking.
Yeah.
God, he's learning.
Okay.
You're hard on him for no reason.
Like just the music or once I started talking?
Like maybe the first 20 seconds of you talking.
Okay, so it's really just YouTube though because we have it. So all right, no big deal, no big deal. I mean, I'm come to expect it from
Amateur
you guys.
over
I
here.
mean, I feel what Steve Mathis is dealing with Marks and tits and talon.
Really, you're gonna throw marks under that? I hope he somehow hears this.
I do
I
too.
may actually clip that and send it to him in a text, just so he knows how bad you're throwing him under the bus.
Oh, Nick from Moto Limited just sent me a comment about our first guest, Justin Cooper.
Yeah.
Not going to repeat it, but we know Nick is a Christian Craig
Oh,
ball hugger, so
oh,
we can
yeah,
only
that's true. That's true.
we can only imagine what my boy Nick said. Nick, I'm not going to repeat it because it'd be all bad. Anyway,
Yeah.
you're in. Yeah, we're glad you're in because there will not be a MotoXpod show for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Next week I'm driving to California. The week after I'm driving back from California.
going out to California way.
California, gonna go out.
No doubt about it.
Ride with Kiefer Thursday, press Friday, race Saturday.
Where are you racing Saturday?
Where am I racing? I'm probably gonna go watch the Pro National at Paula Saturday.
I
That's the race.
thought you said okay. I thought
Yep,
never mind.
Yep.
They have amateur racing at those.
And
They
then
do.
you know, I'm gonna be starting my professional golf career. If you guys are watching on YouTube, you know how I feel about golf. Love it. So
Scotty's giving you pointers.
I wouldn't listen to Scotty on anything. But anyway,
Look how he dresses. You know he plays
gonna-
golf.
Oh, that's actually a question I need to ask Paul P. If I have to get like a collared shirt
You will.
because I don't own a collared shirt. But the whole
Old Darth
moto-
Woods over here.
Anyway, yeah. So if you're on YouTube, you know I've got my driver here. I've been practicing, ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Anyway, yeah. So busy
Knocking
week.
golf balls into the woods is what you
Smashing.
consider practice.
How many? You should probably take like 24 with you at least.
Oh, I think I did like 6 balls.
And a
That's
pocket
good.
ball.
No, I'm saying because you're gonna lose.
Oh yeah. Actually, that bag is full of golf balls, and I got that whole bag of 48. That should be. I think that's enough to get me through 18
Dude, you'd be
balls.
surprised. You'd be surprised,
I'm
man.
gonna take the bag of 48 and
I've
be
seen
like,
people-
I need more balls.
Yeah.
I've seen people go through a dozen in a solid like 4 holes.
Yeah, well, we'll see how it goes. Regardless, it's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time. But yeah, no show the next couple weeks. I may record some stuff and get it posted, but it won't be a live show like this. So is what it is. TJ, glad you're in. Scotty, what's up?
What's going on?
Oh, just doing a show. We got a long one tonight.
Yeah, I'm over here just ruining it. I'm sorry.
If it's 2 weeks, then
Yeah.
I should be back in studio when we come back after that whole 2 weeks off that. So
So maybe it'll be 3 weeks.
Jesus.
We'll figure it out. But yeah, we'll be back. It's good to have you in. Great race this weekend.
Yes.
It was.
What were your overall thoughts on Budds Creek, TJ, and then we got obviously we need to talk about James Stewart in the booth.
That was my overall. Honestly, that was a highlight to me. I know that this man right here,
Scotty?
I didn't say I didn't like
Not
it.
everybody's watching, so you can't just say he.
That's true. Yeah, Scotty is not wasn't the biggest fan
That is not what I said.
of Stewart.
Hey,
That is not what I
Scotty and
said.
I are on the exact same page, almost verbatim.
I liked Stu in the booth. There was just a couple of verbiage things
Just
that
him
just
talking
like
is what you didn't like.
that's not what I said.
Look, I didn't enjoy the nicknames or whatever. Like that, I guess come from his show, Nick Byrne, over and over and over. Because I just felt like he was wearing things out.
I think
The
it was like
chocolate cake, the coffee guy, the coffee man.
I think it seems to the reason why I think I liked it because I don't listen to his show every week, but I
Yeah.
do every few weeks listen to it, and it was almost like you were part of an inside joke.
I heard other people say that, and I get that because people that maybe don't listen to Pulp or when they're like,
Yeah.
I don't get it, or sing with Howard Stern, you start to learn those things, and so I get that, and that's fair.
And so I think, I could be completely wrong, but from listening to his show, a lot of that neck burn and all those kind of things, he does it in a jovial fashion.
Yeah.
And so I think it's the same way he did it on TV, and I just thought it was cool.
He was definitely having a good time. Like, I'm not saying he was bad. I'm not saying I couldn't stand it. I just,
Yeah.
there were certain things he said that I was like, okay, and
Yeah.
a few words that maybe weren't enunciated.
You were frustrated.
He used frustrated a frustrating amount of times.
It said it
He
frustrated.
was-
Didn't quite say it as frustrated.
I will say his
It was just getting. I don't know. I was driving me crazy. But look, I thought it was like his breakdowns, his
Yes.
analysis was really good.
Maybe that's why I liked it.
It was very like blunt and direct. Like
Yeah,
it was. He didn't sugarcoat
Like, I'm
anything,
giving him
and that
an
was
A.
cool.
Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'm
am
not saying
too.
he was bad.
TJ's trying to put words in my mouth saying that I didn't like it at all, but that was just I just had to we like we said we agree For once.
It's weird.
For
I
once,
feel
me
like
and
I need to
Darkside
change
agree.
my opinion.
That's
Yeah.
what happens. TJ comes in the studio, and me and Darkside start
Yeah.
agreeing on everything.
I'm about to say because you either have a choice of agreeing with me or him. And you-
What about the 2 points lead? The two leaders, Chase and Eli, 1 point difference now. Like,
That second moto blew my mind. After the first moto, I was like, well, there goes our cool title
Yeah.
fight. Like, oh, that's over. Like, Tomac's going to have a cushion, and it's going to be
it's almost
gonna be
as
kinda
if,
boring
like,
going the rest.
I don't want to say the AMA, but just whoever. Let's say it. Whoever's creating the story of the race went in and go, listen, guys, we gotta create
Yeah.
some drama.
Okay,
today. So
Steve.
Eli, first moto, I need you
yeah.
to just walk away and Chase. Why don't you fall down 3 or 4 times like
Eli
pro
will-
wrestling?
Eli,
You know?
because that'll be the
Vince
most.
McMahon was in there.
Yeah, like I need you to take a dive here, Chase, and but it's a work though. It's not real. It's not real. It's a work.
Because that moto was so like there was such an opportunity for a huge point swing.
Yeah.
If it comes close at Paula, he'll regret that ride. He will look back at that ride and say, Eli will look back at that ride and say, that cost me. Like that was if he loses the championship because, you know what I mean? Like the next 2 rides, yeah, I think, I mean, Paula's going to be tough for him to beat Chase. And so Ironman this weekend, I don't know.
I think Eli wins the championship. I'm going Eli. No, sorry. What did I just say? Eli?
Yeah.
No, Chase. Chase wins the championship.
You think Chase wins it?
Yep. I think Chase wins it.
Well, we know that you're not going to be right, so that means Eli will win it because like remember you picked Dylan.
I mean, I'm still picking Dylan. I mean, Dylan's my first pick, but
Yeah.
Dylan would have won if Barsha hadn't taken him out.
Y'all are old. Y'all know more than I will. When's the last time that the championship was this close? Has it ever been this close at this point?
Last year?
I'm just like focusing on the fact that he's worried about age again. You guys are old. How old are you?
I did not ask how old you were. I just said you were old.
Not that old. I don't know that it's ever been this close. Like,
That's what
I
I'm
can't
saying.
remember a time it's been this close, this late, with 2 to go. Like 1 point. I
Oh yeah. I thought
Yeah.
it was 2 points, right?
think it's 1.
Oh, is it 1? I thought it was 2 points.
Might be 2, but
It was a 2-point swing.
I think it's 1 point.
Yeah.
Oh,
difference.
is it? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so you think Eli wins the championship? Clearly.
Absolutely.
Okay, Scotty.
Man,
What?
it's a coin toss. I think that Eli probably is more likely to pull it off, but I can totally see Chase doing it too.
Who do you think right now is a mentally better place though? Because Eli seemed very frustrated. He seemed angry. Like it bothered him that he rode like that. And Chase is on a high right now. Even with Chase having a bad moto,
I mean
he still wasn't that far off. Like he crashed like 75
yeah,
times.
he
in the first
tried to
moto
throw it away though.
and
I
still
mean,
was there. I think, and then he knows he's going into Paula in 2 weeks where he's been pretty dominant. Like I think he mentally he has the edge right now. I think Eli is like, he's like, I got to get better. I got to do better. I got to fix these things. That's what you're saying.
Eli is so mentally tough though. I don't think he can ever have a
I'm not
mental
saying
edge
he's
on him.
broken, but I think he's frustrated, and that's not
Yeah.
good at this point. When like you need to be.
I think he just.
frustrated.
I think he just like if we're playing a game of chess, I think he just played the wrong set of moves in that second moto. I think he had the cushion of 10 points, was trying to play it smart and safe, and he just ended up not having enough time to get around everybody. And I think it was just a miscalculation, and I think it doesn't really affect his mental too much, honestly.
Okay, I think you're wrong.
Yeah, and him being upset, being like pissed off Eli, I think actually makes him stronger. You know what I'm talking about?
Why is he laughing?
Because you were like,
hey,
okay, he's
hey,
wrong.
here, what's your opinion? All right, fuck you.
Yeah.
I just said I don't agree.
Yeah. But anyways, I think that him getting upset is, what's it called?
I don't know.
Like that's going to focus him.
Frustrated?
Yeah. No, I think it's going to focus. I think it's going to focus him. I don't think that Chase has, like the whole season, I don't think Chase was there challenging the whole time. I think at the beginning of the season, Chase was getting his wheels underneath him. He's in the class. He's starting to get his confidence, and then now he has the confidence. But I just think Eli's got. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm tired. Always am. Before we move on, we're going to give away a set of Fly Kinetic Mesh gear this week. Haven't really decided how we're going to do it. We need to do a social media post, probably. Get somebody to do some posts. As our listenership grows, let's do something with that again. We haven't done that in a while. So,
Listenership?
yeah, our listenership, our viewership, the listeners are growing. let's make a social media post, and you guys tag the MotoXpod show in something with your riding or bike, motorcycle, whether it be your motorcycle in the garage or you riding. Tag a picture of yourself and just tag the MotoXpod show and Fly Racing in a post. Make sure you tag the MotoXpod show. I'll try to keep up with it because Scotty's not doing his job. And we will pick a winner when we come back, which, like I said, will be about 3 full weeks from now.
Yeah.
We'll pick a winner. But, yeah, just we want to get more people involved and understand what the MotoXpod show is. So make some posts to promote the show, tag us, and we'll pick a winner for a set of Fly Kinetic mesh in 3 weeks.
That's a really good prize for just tagging somebody in a photo.
Yeah, I'm going to tag the shit out of our show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I eligible?
You're not. I am, though.
Is Doc eligible to win?
You're going to win your own contest?
I mean, it's just the luck of the draw, Scotty. Okay. I mean, if I win, I win. It's not.
I'll go tag a picture of the carcass of my bike.
Oh.
Yeah, you need some parts. Jesse, we got to get Scotty some parts. He's going to reach out to you again. Jesse Williams Motor Works.
Hey, that was funny. His picture thing was up on the ad roll right as you said that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That's so funny.
That's
not
funny, haha.
Yeah.
Like funny, like coincident. You're a dick.
Hey, what's your
did you know? So he's like, hey Scotty, what's your opinion? And he's like, screw that.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you went your opinion. And he's like, I'm tired and bored.
Exactly.
What the hell, man?
Like now,
and then in 30 minutes,
this new vital job is
he's becoming
exhausting.
He's becoming like a Vitard leader.
Yeah, and then in like 5 minutes, he'd be like, you guys didn't do your job well enough. What the hell? Y'all need to step it up. Like,
I'm telling you, man.
You know what? Do we have? Okay, I have a set of Fly Racing socks here. The first person that can go to the MotoXpod show Instagram and tell me how many posts have been made on the MotoXpod show since the last show.
I can do it right
can
now.
win a set of Fly socks. I guess it's going to be YouTube. So if you want, go look at the MotoXpod show.
I'm going to say
because what we're supposed to do is
don't say anything.
Two per day.
Yeah.
So you guys let me know how many are on there.
I'm not even going to say anything.
No, go ahead. Let's get it done.
All right, we're moving on.
Okay. Anyway, show 243. Justin Cooper tonight. Malcom Stewart, Jordan Troxell, Derek Rankin, Derek Kelley. Big show. Anything else going on? You got? Oh, we rode last weekend, TJ.
Was it? Yeah, was it? Yeah.
Saturday before the race.
Yeah.
Vet World's training for me.
Yeah.
How'd I look?
You looked really good, actually, especially when you were wearing the white gear. But
wait, he wore 2 sets of gear in one morning practice session.
No. Doc jumped on my bike.
On his bike, dude. The 2-stroke with somebody who can hold okay. Steve's got the backyard track that is one of those backyard tracks that you just almost
6 feet under MX.
Is that what he calls it?
Yeah, because that house that he lives at, that property was his dad's. And his dad was like, "You're not building a track here until I'm 6 feet under." So when his dad passed away and Steve took the house over.
That's kind of hardcore.
That's I love it.
Well, it's sort of a joke with his dad.
But anyways, he's got this gap to gap double that I didn't hit all day long, and it's not big.
Gap to gap double? What does that mean? Isn't every double a gap to?
That'd make it a triple, right?
I guess. Okay, I'm sorry. It's like a huge gap. There's some doubles have like a transition in it. This is like a peak to peak double. You can't come up short on this thing.
Let's say gap to gap double. That's a triple.
Fair enough, but you don't. There's no coming up short on this and riding away from it, right? Would you agree?
Well, unless you're really really talented and you can just pin it and.
Well, anyways, Doc was in
if
the
I
2-stroke.
case it, I'm going back to the hospital.
He would land on that and it's into this left-handed sweeper and just on the throttle on that 2-stroke and it's just it sounded so good.
It didn't. It sounded exactly like when I was riding it.
It sounded so good.
No, TJ will be running a pace that you expect him to jump certain jumps like that, and you'll be behind him screwing around, and then he'll just slam on the brakes, and you're just jumping off, bailing off the track to not crash into him.
Look ahead.
Yeah.
What? When?
You've done that to me before.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh no, but I'm feeling better every time I get on the bike, which obviously that makes sense, right? I guess I should, but it's the best I've felt in a long time.
I was going to ask you, is this like the best you've rode in a while?
I would say it's the best I've rode in 10 years, probably.
Yeah.
Close to it. Yeah, because I haven't rode that much in the last 10 years. So I'm riding more, and of course I'm cycling or pedaling, as they call it. I still feel weird saying I'm going pedaling. Riding my bicycles.
Bicycle,
so I definitely feel in better shape, and I'm not getting tired. Like the first time we went out at Steve's house was, well, my my watch said, my watch said 35 minutes, but I turned it on as I was getting the bike ready. So probably rode 27 to 30 minutes the first time.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad. And then the week before when I went out there, I did a 30 and I did a 20, and I really wasn't tired.
Yeah.
So I do think at the very least, I'm not saying like anybody that listens to us probably listens to Pulp. We already say that, right? So if they know I'm stirring the pot with Steve a little bit, I'm not going out there going, oh, I'm going to kick his butt.
Yeah.
Like he may very well beat me.
Yeah.
But I do know, like my goal is to not get tired in the moto, in the 5 laps.
Well, if you just keep riding at the middle of the road pace that you ride at, you won't get tired. But if the idea is to get tired, to push yourself, and that's what that's the next step you're going to take.
But I mean, during the race, I don't want to get arm pump. I don't want to get tired like I used to, and I haven't been doing lately. So hopefully,
You're moving up a class too, though, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, I have to.
To what?
To the B.
Oh my God, you're like
Steve's in the B class. So
40-something years old, finally getting finally not a sea bagger. He's finally. I didn't know this.
No,
I'm so proud of you.
25 years in C class, finally moving up.
Made somebody listen. It made somebody mad on Twitter. They're like, "Oh God, I gotta find it. We only got a couple minutes. Let me find it."
No, just tell us.
I don't remember what he said. He was so pissed off. I think I screenshot
that you moved up.
That I might be moving up. It's like it's not. Is it fair that I'm moving up? Basically.
What do you?
Hang on, you guys talk for a second. Let me find it.
How does
25 years in the C
class. How does moving up a class not fair? I don't understand that.
Well, people are dumb.
Yeah, that's like, oh, you're too fast for your class, and you're gonna move up. That's not fair.
I have been ragging him for years because he's been a sea bagger, and yeah.
Okay, this guy says. So some guys work their balls off to make the B class, and we're just going to give a pass to SoCal Jamie? Have you at least won a few C class races, like 6 in your life? I was like, what? And Chase, our buddy Chase, said it's World Vets and a shit show. Does anybody really care? This guy says, probably not the people at World Vets, but the people who really race and give a F about how the sport works. We work for our plate color.
What is he talking about?
I don't know. Like, where do you get a plate color for a B class? Like,
40 plus C class.
Hold on. At Loretta's, there's a plate color.
There's once you get into the age groups.
In cross country, there's a plate color, and you have to in cross country, like maybe you have to earn points to get into the B class.
Yeah, but once you get into the vet classes at Loretta's, there's no division anyways. It's all open.
I don't know. I thought it was really weird, but I said. I asked about the plate color, and I said, mine has been C class for a long time. Me moving to the B class and getting smoked won't affect anyone's plate colors.
Well, that's the most confusing thing.
I thought so too.
That right there is more reasons why I'm glad I'm not on Twitter.
It should have been the opposite, right? Like, oh, you're going to drop down to the C claess? Like, I was super weirded out by that.
It has to be like a cross country or off road rider.
Isn't the whole thing at the Vet Nationals wasn't the big deal like last 2 years is that everybody was dropping down and sandbagging
every year.
Every year they all sandbag.
So then I don't know what this.
I was the only one that didn't sandbag because I stayed in my C class. Now I'm moving up. I have to move up if I want to race Steve, so I'm moving up.
So is Steve now racing because you're racing now?
I think he was good. He hasn't said for sure he's even racing, but he was considering racing the whole time. Galdi's coming down. It's gonna be a big deal.
That's big. I wish I could go. Like when I found out that you were gonna be like racing Steve, and then our buddy JT Cooley was talking about going.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm going, and then I looked at my schedule, and I'm gonna be at work. So.
Stupid. Let's take a commercial break. We'll be back with Justin Cooper.
Seabagger.
Who we got on Sporting Wood and
our
Table? What's up, Sporting Wood? Oh, Tay Bill.
Jake.
Tell me Tay Bill's again.
Moto Limited.
Bill. What is it? Tay Bill.
Table Jam. Garrett.
Jam. Yeah.
777.
Cool.
Yeah, but that's the crew.
Tay Bill and Sporting, man, they're hardcore on Pulp. Those guys.
Oh, go ahead.
They're fun to listen to and.
What's the deal with the troll training thing? Is he actually sending you stuff, or is that just an inside joke thing that you are?
Well, if I answer that, I'm not supposed to.
We're only on YouTube. There's 10 people that'll hear this.
Yeah, I don't think anybody really cares. No, it's just messing with Steve.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's what I figured. I just didn't know if I had to be on social media to know that or something.
Probably should.
Twitter's a cesspool.
But yeah, I just reached out to Troll. I was like, hey, I want to mess with Steve.
I thought you had told me that already.
And then I reached out to Timmy, and Timmy said he was going to post a picture of me and say I was part of Red Dog Academy.
Oh, that's even better.
But then he never did because Timmy's terrible at posting. And the first picture I sent him was from Master Pools, and I sent him one that Chase took from the other day, and he goes, that's way better. I was like, well, post that then. And then he didn't do anything. So
That was a good picture.
yeah, there was a couple good ones that Chase took.
I'm like Chase's
710 media, I think is what his
Yeah.
7 the word 7, the number 10 media or something like that is Chase.
It should be tagged in your photos.
Yeah, go follow Chase on Instagram. Yeah, those pictures I posted, he's on there.
Surprising how fast he has gotten good at doing that. Like he's only been shooting moto for maybe a year. It is like
It's design, 710 designs.
Yeah.
Okay, designs. Thank you.
it is ridiculous how good his photos are. Like I have been shooting moto photography for years, and I can't touch the stuff he does.
That one he got of Barsha at Redbud over the triple was probably one of the coolest photos I've seen media-wise all year.
Yeah, he's good. Just natural.
Yeah, he's looking at buying like a better like I guess Tom Jernay sent him like what video camera he's using. It's like a $7,000 video camera. I was like, "Oh, I'm out."
Yeah.
He's gotten some good pictures of me. I've really appreciated.
Like pushing your bike?
Try to get
Before I blew it up.
All right, our first guest of the night is going to be brought to you tonight by Works Connection. Since the inception of Works Connection in 1989, Eric Phipps's goal has been to produce Works-like products for the general public. Products like the industry standard Pro Launch Start Device, the Elite Clutch Perch, radiator braces, customized master cylinder covers, and much more. It's hard to imagine you not going to worksconnection.com so you too can have what the pros use. Use promo code MOTOXPOD20 to save. Tonight, Works Connections brings us from Team USA and Star Racing Yamaha, Mr. Justin Cooper. What's up, Coop?
How are you?
Doing good, man. How are you? How are you feeling after you got 2 races to go, man?
Yeah, it's gone by pretty quick. So with sitting out the Supercross, yeah, it's been like trying to progress the whole time, and now all of a sudden we're at the end of the season. So it's been good. It's been a little bit up and down, but yeah, I think we're figuring it out here lately. So that's been good.
Is the foot bothering you at all anymore? Even like during recovery, do you notice it, or you feel like you're 100%?
I definitely notice it.
Yeah.
I don't think it like hinders me at all riding. Like riding, it's all good, but yeah, it definitely gets sore on me. So it's.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just wondering because like I was hearing rumors a while back that like it was still really bothering you, and then all of a sudden you started like getting back up to the front. It's funny, even I was gonna say back up to the front, but your results really overall haven't been as bad as maybe the media sort of portrayed. Like your results have been pretty damn good, consistent, and you know as you've gotten better. But I was wondering midway through the season if you were still being affected by it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely getting better, but I definitely feel it more after I ride. During the racing and everything, it's all taped up, and it doesn't bother me at all. So that's definitely not an excuse. I think it was a little bit maybe mess with my confidence a little bit in the beginning of the year, but
yeah,
I mean we're at the point now. I can't sit there and sulk on the injury. I gotta move forward on it. So.
Well, yeah, you've been doing that. You've been riding really well. A second ago, you mentioned like missing Supercross and how that kind of like made like the outdoors go by kind of quick. In 23 next year, as of now, I believe that's the plan, right? To not race Supercross again. Is that something that you're like kind of looking forward to having that time off, or are you kind of bummed that it worked out that way?
Yeah, I'm kind of bummed on it. It's not official yet,
okay.
But I mean, I think there's a chance I could race the whole series with Star if everything, works out. But yeah, nothing official there yet. But yeah, the focus is really on, motocross for next year. So
yeah, that's
really all I have like written down permanently. But yeah, other than that, I'll probably ride the 450 quite some bit on Supercross this year and kind of feel it out. And, I think things will take off from there.
Good to hear.
Yeah, Justin. So I wondered if you could give us kind of like a percentage pie of how much your results have been motivated by trying to make the donations teams the last couple of rounds.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely helped, but it's kind of like you have that, and I kind of want to, obviously want to do good myself. So
Right.
it's like, it's they're both helping the same goal to be better and to be up front, and I think that's definitely, has been a factor in that. But I would say more just myself wanting to be up there.
Yeah, that's the number one importance. I think it's getting back to your true form.
Yeah, because I mean we're down to the end now, and really would like a win before the end of the season. So we have 2 races left to do that, and yeah. So I've just been trying to progress myself and with the time I have, because once this is over, it's I don't know really what's gonna be next as far as racing.
Right. Yeah.
So with all that motocross the nation talk, and I don't know if we call it stress, but trying to get on the team, is that going to change your, like, are you going to be able to say, okay, I'm done with that, don't have to think about that, that's going to happen, and now you can focus more on racing? Or are you like, does it change anything for you on a day-to-day?
No, I think it's just helped the motivation, like
Gotcha.
being in the talk for the donations, and it's just helped. I think my preparation for each race, it's made me want to be better each day, and yeah, nothing's changing. It's not like, oh, I'm on the donations team and now I'll go out and I'll be good with getting 7th. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
I still want to win, and I mean nothing's gonna change there. So it's just an added bonus.
Yeah. So a few weeks ago, I'm almost positive you were on the phone when I was in studio with Pulp, because we talked about the possibility of you being on Team MXDN, Team USA, and I asked you if you were like frustrated, upset, if it bothered you that we had kind of written you off, right? Like they were just talking about Christian and
Barsha.
Barsha, but you weren't really in the conversation any really. We'd kind of written you off, and if that bothered you, and you said it did a little bit, but like, was that something that was like a motivating factor? Were you like, this is BS?
Yeah, honestly, 100% it was.
Yeah, I like to hear
Like
that.
I was pretty pissed off. Like it didn't make any sense to me, and yeah, it's pretty easy, or it's pretty crazy how easy it is for like people to forget.
Yep.
So yeah, I was pissed off for sure.
Yeah, I had heard that you were still having some foot issues, right? That's and you never know about the rumors, but so I was kind of like, well, if his foot's really bothering him, then yeah, I don't know if he should be the guy picked. But once you started showing what you had, and then that night you said, no, it's not bothering you that much anymore. And I think you just had a really great result the weekend before. So I was like, okay, I'm sort of shifting my thoughts towards that. Like, I feel like you deserve it because you'd been on the 250 already, if you were capable of putting those kind of results in, and you've proven that you can. So, but I have to admit, to some degree, I had written you off a little bit too.
Yeah, I mean, the thoughts go through my mind as well. It just felt like something was happening each weekend, like out of my control almost, and it was getting super frustrating. And yeah, obviously, those 2 weekends went really good for me. I won a moto.
Yep.
Each race, and then yeah, this last weekend actually was sick. After Unadilla, I was sick all week. I didn't train at all. I didn't ride. I didn't leave the house. So
Oh, wow.
this weekend I almost didn't race. It was like on race day, I kind of went out in practice and was like feeling it out. And I almost pulled the plug. I almost didn't race, but I was there, and
Yeah.
I might as well,
There's been a lot of guys like that. Like this year, there's been, I don't know if it's because like the idea of sickness, I put air quotes up, is in our brain because of the whole COVID thing, but it seems like we have a lot of riders who are under the weather this year during the outdoor season, which I thought was kind of weird.
Yeah, it was. It caught me off guard, and yeah, like I said, I didn't want to leave the house all week, so it was pretty bad. I guess I started feeling better Friday, but yeah, I just didn't have much energy on Saturday,
Yeah.
and it was just hard for me to have intensity. I just felt like so felt like a noodle on the bike, to be honest.
That's what I tell my wife. I just tell her I'm sick because I don't want to do anything. I want to sit around and watch TV. That's good.
Justin, I want to ask you one more thing about, well, maybe a couple more about Team USA, but being on the same team as Christian Craig, who is the guy that we kind of thought was going to get it once Barsha bowed out. It was between the two of you. Have you guys talked about it all? You know, what's the feeling between you two in the truck? Was there any tension?
No, it was a little bit weird because we are the only two guys that really were gonna do it.
Yeah.
It was a little bit weird when we were both riding 250s.
Okay.
We were both like trying to, show that we were better, and it was kind of like a mutual agreement. Whoever was going better was gonna do it. I think we both want what's best for the team, so everyone knows. I think we're all going for the win this year and nothing else, and that was important to send the best guy. And I guess I've been clicking the last few, I would say, last month or so, and everything's coming back to me, so I'm feeling good for it. I feel like I'll get stronger as it comes.
Yeah, that's good and I think if anybody will take the time to remember the last time you rode for Team USA, although you had the crash, right? But you were like, you had so much heart. You rode your butt off with being banged up. You killed it on qualifying day. Like, there's no doubt that you could go to Redbud and get some really high scores for us. And again, just you having the injury and being away for a little bit, everybody forgets. Like you said, they forget what you're capable of. And I think you're going to show us what you got, man. I'm looking forward to it. It's right around the corner.
Yeah, it's like a month away.
Yeah,
it's
I know. It's crazy.
Month, it feels like it's so much longer away with these last two.
Yep.
Still in the way, but yeah, it'll be good. We'll use those next two races as some good preparation for it.
Fantastic.
Yeah, Justin, so, we kind of already talked a little bit about the adversity you've gone through and the journey to get back on top. And I just kind of wanted you to take us through those moments at Washougal and Unadilla where you got those second moto wins. Just kind of, I've got the picture here up of you holding the champagne bottle and spraying it over the fans and everything. Just kind of take us through that moment and after that journey of trying to get back to that point.
Yeah, I mean, it was always... So, we started off the year, I went like 11, 13. Struggling really bad with the bike, and it was just, it was first race back, so it really caught me off guard, and I was kind of panicking for a second, but luckily we got back on the podium the next weekend, and, I was kind of able to chill out a little bit, and from there it was just kind of up and down, and I felt like I was close to the front guys, and then there would be a race where I feel like I was way off. And then at Washougal, I had that, just got out front and everything felt like super easy compared to the other races. And I almost felt like it was easier than the first moto when I got fourth. And that was kind of a breakthrough for me. And it kind of, I remembered the feeling of, riding that way and winning races again. So that obviously carried right over to Unadilla. I really do believe I should have went 1-1 there.
Mm-hmm.
Without that crash. I think I would have, and I just felt so good again there. And this last week was a bummer to get sick, but we're trying to get recovered from that. But yeah, like you said, it was hard to get back from the injury. It was a lot of time watching on the couch and wondering, where I stood again. So I would like more races. There hasn't been enough for me yet.
Yeah.
Even though there's already been 10 rounds, it feels like it's gone by so fast, and I feel like I still have a lot to prove.
So that means that every off-season race you're going to be in, we're going to see you lined up everywhere?
I mean, I hope any opportunity I get, I'm going.
You come to the
For
Pro
sure.
Challenge.
Yeah, we'll get you down
Challenge
here
here
to
in Tyler,
Swan,
Texas,
Pro
and-
Challenge. They had a $30,000 purse. I mean,
Yeah.
there's some money.
Where is that at?
In Texas, in East Texas at Swan, they have every year they have the Pro Challenge, and it has a pretty good-sized purse.
Yeah.
Oh, you'd go 1-1-1-1 for sure.
I don't know. I mean, you think you can beat Brownie?
Yeah, Brownie shows up.
I don't know.
Kyle Cunningham. Alessio sometimes shows up.
Yeah, I think you got it covered if you want to come out and make a few extra bucks.
Yeah, if I don't do Supercross, I think I'll be all over the map, honestly.
Oh,
That'd
that's
be cool.
great.
That'd be a lot of fun to see someone of your caliber being able to go to races and
Kind of like what Cooper Webb's doing now, right? And just kind of showing up at these random places and racing.
That is awesome.
Yeah. Justin, I want to ask you about, like, when you're coming back from an injury and trying to get it back, how difficult is it to test, to actually figure out things with the bike? Because you're not at your best, and there's physical things that might be impeding figuring out what the bike is doing. Is that even an issue or not so much?
Yeah, I think that's what we kind of saw at the beginning of the year with me. I wasn't up to my full 100% speed, and I was kind of just I was riding in a different way, so the bike reacts differently. And you really need to be 100% like strong and confident to ride the bike the way it needs to be ridden. If that's how you if it's set up for how it was in 2021 when I was winning races, that's I was strong, confident then, and coming into this season I wasn't in tip-top shape by any means, so it threw off the testing big time, and we kind of had to figure out a new setup, and it's honestly been a work in progress all the way up until these last couple of races, and even now we're trying to fix some little stuff that I'm struggling with, so we're always trying to be better, just not trying to make any big changes at the moment.
Yeah, don't want to go the wrong way.
So I hear it all the time. I hear people in the industry that are like journalists or whatever. Hey, well, he won on this bike and so. Why didn't he just go back to those settings? But I've never heard it put that way, where you have to be at your top form to ride that setting to its best. That's really interesting. That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, it's like, if someone hops on my bike and is the same weight and everything, it's not going to work good for them if they're going slow.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So I would suck on a Star Yamaha.
Yeah.
Because I only ride slow. Jay Coop, I got two more quick questions for you. One, obviously I'm friends with Mathis. You guys had a little back and forth on social media recently, and there's a lot of people wondering, like, if you were really mad, because I know Mohead was pretty upset. He went after Steve a little bit. I didn't feel like I think it was on Twitter, maybe on Instagram, I can't remember, but I felt like you were just kind of giving him crap, playing with him a little bit. But were you legitimately upset with his, his thoughts on you for Team USA?
Yeah, I was, but okay. I didn't make a big deal about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was saying he's definitely like 100% for Craig.
Yep.
On getting picked, so I was pissed off. It was after Unadilla, and I think he said like, "What happened in Moto 1?" And I had like crashed in the lead, which but going back, that's the day I should have went. I think 1-1, and the second Moto, I had like a 15-second lead, and he still was like, like that wasn't impressive. So it's like, what is this guy talking? Like, was he even watching the race? I was like, I was seeing red at that point. I was like, I won the moto by 15 seconds, and he's saying like, yeah, he's not that good.
Yeah, I remember him saying like, well, you can't crash at MXDN, and that was kind of what I think that was more his point. Well, he crashed, and he's crashed a few times this year. You can't crash, but everybody crashes here and there, right? It happens. We're all going to crash at some point.
Yeah, the track wasn't prepped good. It was pretty hard packed underneath.
Yeah.
So when I have a question. One of the other things that also talked about starts at the MXDN, where you have to work your way through the pack because you're going to wind up eating roost from 450s. It is what it is, right? On the starting line. So, and you have some guys that have, let's say, your level of speed because you are exceedingly faster than most everybody in the field. And a lot of times, so it was like Tomac. We'll use him as an example. He got stuck behind guys that he can beat a lot of times this weekend. What mindset has to be there for you to be able to, like, get up to somebody, catch them, and drop them early? versus being stuck behind them and eating roost for 20 minutes?
You really just have to have the passing spots picked out
Early.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely hard. Like Budds Creek is one of those tracks that's like pretty follow leader. Like it's pretty hard to get around some people sometimes.
Yeah.
I figured that out in Moto 1. I had came from dead last to like the top 10, and it was hard. Like just trying to set guys up, and you'd get stuck behind them for like 2 or 3 turns in some of the sections. So it was sometimes you had to wait for it and strike where you knew you could get them, and you really just have to have at least one spot around the track where you can get really close to someone and strike where you can get them. But yeah, I mean that's
that makes sense.
I know what he didn't look like he had too much intensity the second moto. I don't know what was going on, but
Scotty here, he said that he thought that maybe he expected himself to be able to outpace him for a minute and then drop him. But if, like what you say is true, the track starts going away, starts to get one line, that gets harder and harder.
I think a big part of that was Eli was running the scoop, and I think it was a lot harder for him on that track with all the off cameras to
he denied that,
cut in. Yeah, I know he denied
to get
it.
up to someone too.
Yeah, I know he denied it, but I think he wasn't able to cut under and do some of the things that some of the other guys that he needed to do to make the passes on that type of track. And
right.
Yeah, that's what I think, but I haven't.
Yeah, I mean, I rode the scoop in practice, and it was not the move.
Yeah,
like it was already hard packed after first practice.
So
okay. Yeah, that's
what I heard. I can only imagine how it felt in the second moto for him. But
450 second moto, the track was probably gone away.
Yeah, we got 2 more for you, J. Coop.
So I kind of just wanted you to compare the pace of the class to years 2 years prior.
Everyone's just getting a little bit better. I think everyone's learning how to do the full 35-minute motos and suffer through it a little bit, but it's pretty similar. There's a lot of good guys right now, so I think everyone's it's definitely a higher pace this year. I don't know if that's due to the track prep or if it's due to I think if the tracks were like ripped really deep, it would slow it down a little bit, and it wouldn't be as high speed and intense. It would be more like methodical and technical and stuff like that.
Right.
But yeah, I think with the way the tracks have been lately, it's pretty wide open. So it brings some intense racing for sure.
All right, last question I have for you. I feel like I've talked to you about this at some of the races, but you have a bit of an image with the fans where they're like, oh, I just, Justin Cooper doesn't seem like he's ever happy. You don't talk a lot, right? You don't seem very comfortable expressing yourself with the fans or the media. That you kind of seem like you're just all business. Do you enjoy doing these interviews, or if you had the choice, would you just not do them? Are you kind of a recluse a little bit?
I like to do them like pretty often, just to because I don't get to talk a lot at the races usually, and I put so much pressure on myself at the races, and I think that's why I come off that way. And it's very easy to get in the zone and just worry about what's at stake for that day.
Yeah.
Well, you're welcome on here every week.
Yeah, if you just let us know.
Yeah, I'm more than welcome to do it a bunch for sure.
Yeah.
But I think it's easy to settle down after the races but during the day it's so hectic, and there's so much going on that you just want to be your best self, and I feel like that's what secludes every rider from really doing too much.
Yeah, it makes sense. I always kind of have your back when people, I get in the chat rooms or whatever during the races. I'm like, no, man. Like, if you get a chance to actually sit and talk to him, like, he's really a personable guy. Same with Eli. Like, the few times I've sat and talked to Eli, he'll laugh, and he's pretty open about stuff. But he's all business when it comes to race time. Same with you, and I think you guys get a little bit of a bad rap for basically, quote unquote, having no personality when it's such a small portion of who you are with what the public gets to see.
Yeah, I mean, if you put a fan in our shoes and they gotta go do 35-minute motos, all the practice sessions, all the talk with the team. It's a lot. It's a lot on a race day, and you're not just willing to go out there and go hang out with all the fans. Like you're looking to do your job, and that's what you're there for.
Exactly. Well, Justin, we're going to let you go, man. I thank you for having some time for us. It's really been a lot of fun talking to you, and I'm going to take you up. Probably come Supercross. If you don't race Supercross, I may hit you up because I'm trying to do some stuff because I'm working for Vital now, and I'm trying to do like a post-race kind of thing like a review with riders that maybe aren't at the race. Kind of, hey, what'd you see tonight? You know, maybe every once in a while I'll hit you up for that if you're not racing.
That'd be cool.
Right
I'd
on,
be down
man.
to do that.
Oh, what, you got one more, Scotty?
Yeah,
He's trying to get off, man.
I know, and I'm sorry,
he's got a
Justin.
beautiful
Are
girlfriend
you?
he needs to get to.
I can't remember if you're a golfer or not.
Oh God, here we go.
I try to be, but it's so hot in here in Florida that every time I go out to do it, it's just like, why? Like
He said,
Oh,
why?
got you. Well, okay, you got any tips for Dark Side? Because he's playing his first round of golf ever in like a couple of days.
For the MXDN thing?
Yeah,
He's raising money for you.
Yeah, trying to raise money for you, man. The Paul Parabino's tournament will be my first time to ever play golf.
Ever?
Are you going to be there?
Like, I literally went across the street from my house yesterday and hit some golf balls just to see if I could even hit them straight.
Oh no!
Well, hey,
You're
check
gonna
this out.
struggle.
Everybody else,
struggle.
nobody else on my team has ever played it. Well, Michael Lindsay's played a couple times, but the others, like Alex Gobert and Nick Still from Moto Limited over in Australia, none of them have ever played. They're on my team, so it's going to be a shit show no matter what.
Oh my God! Yeah, you're gonna be in for some frustration.
No, I'm going into it knowing I'm going to suck. So I just, as long as the other players might be frustrated when the ball comes from,
Four.
It goes the wrong direction and hits
every
someone.
hole.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to it.
Once you get on a streak of like messing up a few holes in a row, you start to hate the game real quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's his tip right there.
Yeah. Exactly.
He's got a bag of 48 balls. I told him that wasn't enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
It might not be. You need a lot of practice. Like, it's fun once you get good. I haven't gotten there yet, but
Right.
I've hit a few good balls and it starts to get fun. But it's hard to keep it consistent for sure.
Well, Sunday after Paula, come out and have some drinks with us and play some golf.
I might have to.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Sounds fun.
It's gonna be a good time. So a lot of the industry will be there. RaiseItForUSA.com. Justin Cooper, thanks, man.
All right, see you guys.
We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
See ya.
So
all right, Justin Cooper.
Now we just need a weekly check-in with him.
Yeah. That was a good interview, man.
Yeah, it was. I liked it.
It always is.
Yeah. He really is a good interview, I think, and I feel like. What are you laughing at?
Nick is not happy.
Well, why don't you just block Nick right now?
Yeah, no, it's been entertaining.
But no, he's always a really good interview.
Yeah.
It's he just like I don't know. I've heard like what you said. People say about his personality. I never really get that out of him. Like he's always been personable and talkative and jokes around. And
I think like even if you look at the picture they took for Team USA when they made the announcement, he looks like he is absolutely miserable and pissed off. But I mean, it was race. I guess it was Saturday. I think it was Saturday morning, race
he
day.
From New England area.
New York area. I think.
That's
that
kind of their MO.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody was talking about that. He's kind of flat on the chat. And I'm like, that's just the way he's giving you good stuff. It's not going to be
like, maybe he's a little monotone.
Yeah.
But he doesn't, like, when you talk to him, he doesn't sound, to me, he didn't sound annoyed the entire time. He gave great answers. Even when he was on pole, 4 weeks ago, like, I thought he was good. Now, on the podium, sometimes he just doesn't have the personality for it, maybe, or he's tired or whatever.
It reminds me of Nicoletti that everybody loves. The difference is Nicoletti will, like, say some terrible things about people.
Yeah,
and Justin's a little bit. Justin's Nicoletti without the throat slit gesture.
Right. Yeah. Let's take a commercial break. We've got a couple minutes. We got to get Malcom on.
All right.
Be right back. I thought that was great.
Yeah.
Okay, so not only are you going to play golf for the first time ever, but you're going to do one of your one in every 10 years drinking as well.
Oh, I didn't mean I was actually going to have it. I mean, I might.
That's all, folks.
I doubt I'll drink, but then again, who knows?
You'll get about 4 holes in and be like, give me a damn twisted tea.
Yeah, we'll just have to see how things go. I was just trying to get him to come on out.
I'm surprised that they're not there. let's be honest. The whole point of that golf tournament
Well, I think
is
Paul's working on that, but then also those guys are getting done with the last race of the year. But
exactly.
I
It's
think
the
a
last
lot of
race
them
of
will
the
be
year.
out there. I think there'll be a lot of them there.
All three of them need to be there.
Call Malcolm.
I'm just saying.
Our next guest of the night, it has been, how many years have we been doing the show, TJ? 6?
Yeah.
6 years. We finally got him. He's going to be brought to you tonight by Fly Racing. Fly Racing has been developing and innovating its gear lines in 1998. Since 1998, Fly Racing is the only choice if you want the best. Our guest will disagree with that, but that's okay. Just ask current riders Zach Osborne, RJ Hampshire, Damon Bradshaw, Justin Brayton, Carson Mumford, and many more. Check out your local dealership and ask for Fly Racing, distributed by WPS. Tonight, Fly Racing brings us from 7 and from Rockstar Husky, Malcom Mookie Stewart. We finally got him, TJ.
Oh man.
What's up, Malcolm?
Yeah, what's up? What's up?
Dude, I asked you, I don't know how many times, I've had your number for a couple years at Minneapolis. You're like, yeah, man, I don't really answer texts. Like, call me and leave a voicemail, and then I'll text you back. And I was like, he's blowing me off. But it worked.
No, that's what I was telling. I was like, dude, if you just call me and leave it, because I'm like, nowadays, obviously, with this, you get these random numbers. You know how it goes, dude.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't really know. So I said, if you just call me and then leave a voicemail, I promise you. I said, then I could put it all together.
That's
Sure enough, that's all you did. And I was like, boom, see? There it
worked.
is.
I thought, like, that's the opposite of how most people work. Like, people are like, don't call me, just text me. You're like, no, don't text me, call me.
No, on top of that too is like you have like numbers that you don't know,
Sure.
and it's all. I'm like, I don't ever really save numbers, you know. So I'm like, just if you leave a voicemail, I was like, if it's a voicemail, it's important.
Yeah. Okay.
I was like, I read it. I was like, okay, this is my guy.
I should have asked you that 2 years ago.
I tried to tell you this.
Yeah. Well, Malcolm, dude, not the year you wanted outdoors. Obviously, recovering from the knee injury. How does the knee feel after a couple rounds back?
No, it's been going good. Of course, like Supercross, I did that injury at St. Louis, and then obviously re-hurt it again at Salt Lake City, and we did a little bit more damage than I thought I was. At first I was like, we should be back, because originally we were like, oh, we're just gonna miss the first 4 rounds, and we should be fine. And then, of course, we did an MRI and stuff, and realized there was a little bit more damage than we thought, and the healing process and what we were dealt with, just wasn't going the way we really wanted to. So it's been like it was like a little bit longer injury than I expect again. It's one of those curveballs that you didn't really expect, and you're like, all right, we did a little bit more damage than we thought. So, but man, I got back on the bike, and it was, I ain't gonna lie, it just, once I got back on the bike, I felt like I was, obviously happy to be riding and stuff, but then at the same time, it's like, I felt like I missed so much. I felt like it's like hitting a reset button again, like the whole trying to do the 30-minute motos, and like you just feel like you just lose so much endurance. So it's basically been that, just trying to get myself back into shape. And of course, and everybody knows you can never replicate a race. So pretty much for me, from May till what we're just saying August, that's a long time with no gate drops in. And I'm, to be honest, like, I don't know how the hell I got away with it. My whole half of my career with racing. Of course, it's been 8 years since I raced outdoors, and I really don't know how I got away with some of that stuff, but and still be able to perform that good in Supercross. But obviously it's definitely changing. Things have changed, the game has changed, everybody's getting better and stuff like that. So you got to be out there with the guys, man. You have to. That's the only way you need to stay in. That's the only way, I guess I would say, being competitive.
Right.
To the point.
So coming back after all that time off, and then kind of coming back to a whole new bike for outdoor riding, has that affected you at all working? Because we've heard other people have trouble with the new frame and the new motor and stuff like that, or coming back, I guess you'd call it fresh, after they've already done all the testing. Do you think that helped you or hurt you?
I guess I would say I didn't really get too much of a good chance to test, so I've been kind of just running off of everybody else. But of course, you can kind of see that the guys are still struggling a little bit. Obviously there's been some flashes. It's definitely just been an up and down year for all our brands. Obviously the Austria brand, but we're trying the best we can. Of course, let's put it this way: it's getting better, and it has gotten a lot better since beginning of the season.
Yeah.
A lot of the ideas and a lot of the components that we've used in Supercross, we're actually using in outdoors. So, which is a good thing. That means like it keeps it pretty standard. So, again, I definitely didn't really get to do all the testing and stuff. So I'm kind of testing a little bit at the race,
Gotcha.
because I missed so much. But I had a lot of good teammates. Of course, they're all out there doing their thing. So I'm kind of like, keeping an open ear, like, hey, how was the weekend? What you feel, this and that. But man, once you're out there yourself, it's like, all right, everything that they said doesn't even matter.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, all right, like we're out here fending for ourselves at this point. So, but I actually been enjoying it, man. Like, of course, like these aren't the results that, of course, I want to get, but at the same time, it's to me, yeah, I want to go out there and do the best I can. But we're so kind of late in the game. It's like, it's hard. You're kind of have your back against the wall. It's just really just like getting the gate drops and getting back into it and just being healthy and do the best you can. That's kind of what we kind of trying to finish out these last couple of races is just not really trying to set too much of a tone. It's just really just have the gate drops and have fun, man. Like that's what it really comes down to. And then next year when we do outdoors, we'll have obviously hopefully we have a great Supercross season going in 2023 and then fresh going into correctly outdoors, and I feel that I'll be right back up there.
It's exciting to hear you look forward to outdoors. I'm just saying, it's exciting.
Yeah.
No, it's I say one thing that's cool about it. At least the day's done early,
Yeah, true. That's right.
I've actually caught every flight home so far. So
It's not midnight.
That's nice,
Yeah.
I get in a way it's nice, but in the way it's not nice because that means I'm not in the winter circle, right? So,
True.
but yeah, man. Honestly, it's cool just to have a different vibe, and it's nice, man. It's just nice to be back out, and I think I'm just more happy just to be back racing in general.
I can hear it. Yeah, I hear it.
Yeah, like it's not even if it's indoor, outdoor, it doesn't even matter. It's just having the gate drops and obviously, of course, like you're seeing guys that you haven't seen since Supercross, and we're all, like again, like everybody's friends before the gate, before the gate drops. But it's more of just, being around guys that you've been around all from January to May. So it's just a kind of, I guess I'd say more like I'm joining back in the family
Reunion. Yeah.
Yeah.
I may be hitting you up for some notes on the Husky stuff. We're gonna be teammates here in a couple weeks. I'm picking up a 350 after Paula and bringing it back home to Texas. So,
all right.
Yeah, so I might have to get some notes from you.
We'll get it out then. Of course, my teammate shined out this past weekend with the Husky. So,
yeah, like
I said, the bike's getting better. We're getting better. The whole team's getting better. All the brands are getting better. So,
absolutely.
Again, it's of course we started out, and that's part of it. New bikes and stuff like that. There's always a little bit of a rocky ridge that you go on, but it doesn't take much. I'm glad that we have Dungy out there. He's obviously a fellow past champion, so he knows what he's doing. So that's obviously helping a lot for us as well. So it's good data for us, period.
So when you were off the bike, did you get any like fishing tournaments in? How'd that go?
I didn't do any fishing tournaments. I thought about doing one, but man, like I said, I was kind of put in a situation where I couldn't really do too much. But again, like I said, we had a little bit longer process than we did. But I was enjoying it. I guess I would say it was nice, but at the same time, it's like as a racer, you're just sitting there. You're like, man, I know what I should be doing on Saturday,
right?
Not So it bothered me, but I obviously dedicated all my time to watching my teammates and stuff riding. But yeah, I thought about doing some tournaments, man. It crossed my mind, but I didn't want to get whooped, man. That's my thing. I'm a sore loser when it comes to fishing too, I'm a big sore loser.
Yeah.
Like my cousins, my friends, like, man, it's like they beat me. Everybody wants to just beat me. I'm like, that's why I don't really try to do tournaments.
Mookie, so, you've always obviously been known as being easygoing and kind of laid back, and we kind of know that you race simply because you just love riding your dirt bike and love the sport. And I just kind of wanted to know how you kind of compartmentalize taking it serious as your career and your job without kind of ruining your natural love for the sport.
I mean, it's weird. Like my background was more like, I like riding, but I didn't care for racing.
Right. Yeah.
It was more like I was dedicated to fishing. I wanted to grow up and be a fisherman.
We all saw
I
Bubba's
watched
World.
all
I was about to
like
say.
Bill
We
Dan
saw Bubba's
videos and Kevin Van Dam. Like those are my idols. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't necessarily like, no disrespect, like Jeremy McGrath, Dave McGrath. I was like, nah, we going fishing, baby. That's where it's at. So, but something clicked. I don't know what it was, and honestly I think it was more just the reality of it. I'm like, I would hate to try to pursue my fishing career and it may not work out. I obviously had a lot of natural talent of riding a motorcycle, so it was more like my mind just got made up. When that was really once I turned like 17, 18. It was like going into my rookie year of racing Supercross and I was back when I was on a Suzuki. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? Let's just try to have a good year. I said, I'll do 1 year pro, see how it goes. And, I'm still young enough. If I want to turn whatever I want to do, I could do. Right. And I had a really good year. And I was like, oh, it's not too bad. Made a little cash, So I was like, not bad for a little 18-year-old. So next, I signed a 2-year deal with JDR. And I was like, man, this is actually pretty cool. So but the moral of the story was you could always go back fishing. You can't ride dirt bikes when you're older, like at that level of being pro. So
Yeah.
I just pretty much set aside of kind of like, hey, this is what you want. You can do this, when you're older. And of course I have great parents. My brother was racing. And they're always like, hey, look, dude, like make all your money in riding motorcycles and you can buy any bass boat you want. You can So I was like, oh, that doesn't sound too bad. So let's just do it. So, and then next we just kept trucking along, kept getting better and getting better each and every year. And then, here we are, 15 years later.
Sounds like you need to get old.
Yeah, it was a pretty simple deal. Just, it wasn't like I grew up and I was like, oh man, I'm dedicated to fishing. And I honestly think it was more of like to do it, obviously because my brother was racing. It was like, I was thinking of maybe trying to do something else,
Wait, you have a brother that races?
Yeah, right.
Oh man.
No, I'm just saying. It's just more because he was obviously racing and stuff, and we're obviously one big racing family. But it, how it is, man. Like you feel like you're always like that brother. It's always every brother has something different. We grew up to do two different people, but we are two totally different people that do the exact same thing. But so obviously I just took over it, and here we are.
That's yeah, that's cool.
I was just gonna say, it sounds like you need to get a bass tracker sticker on the old jersey and try to get that bass boat that way.
Yeah, I know, man. I know. We're definitely, it's in the works, man. It's in the works.
That'd actually be cool.
Yeah.
Because I know in the amateur ranks, and I don't know if you are around very many amateurs, but like the Bass Pro hats and the Bass Pro stuff is like huge with the amateur riders. So like, you would be the perfect avenue for them to come into our sport and start sponsoring stuff.
Well, back when we had the Freestone National, like everybody, like I remember like Villapoto and everybody would go over the pond and fish. And of course, Levi Kitchen's a big fisher, and then Adam and Tyler Entenap are big into fishing. Tyler's a big fishing guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I love fishing, man. It's just I think it's just more of like every athlete has their like go-to, you know what I mean? A lot of athletes golf, some people fish, video games, or you know what I mean?
Sure.
So we just pick up our own little deal. And obviously for me is fishing. My dad got me into fishing when I was really young, so that's kind of what I took over. So, but yeah, I love the Bass Pro Shop hat. That's something about that trucker hat. It just fits nice.
Yeah.
But of course, I'm sponsored by Abu Garcia, which is a fishing, rod and reel. So that's obviously nice. So that opens up a whole nother avenue that could possibly be potential for our sport. So it's cool just to have different sponsors and of course, hopefully it can grow in and maybe there'll be something a part of our sport.
Yeah. How do you go about getting a non-endemic sponsor like that? Is that somebody you just already had a partnership with because you fish so much, or how did that come about?
I think that just kind of carried over.
Okay.
Of course, I know some of the guys that, fish the Major League Fishing and stuff like that. So I think it just kind of carried over and maybe it just caught an eye or, I don't really know how it really happened.
Yeah, it just did.
somebody called me and said, "Hey, Abby Garcia wants to speak to you," and I like about broke my neck. When I was like, "What you talking?" I was like, "What?" So
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, let's have this conversation." So
That's
and then
cool.
Here we are.
Good for you,
so
man.
I just think in all sponsors, I think it's cool just to have. It doesn't matter what it is. I just think it's obviously anything that's outside the sport is better for our sport. Period.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's more avenues. That's more eyes on our sport to grow it.
100%. I want to ask you about next year. You're locked in with a Husky contract. That has to feel really good to not worry about where you're going to be.
Yeah, no, it feels good. It honestly does. Just me knowing that I could have a really good off season going into next year, and it not stressing. Of course, my past few year deals that I've been on since I'm 450s. It's been 1 year deals here and there, and I felt like I got to the point I started riding every brand that was available at the time, and I was like, man, it's hard, man, and you're getting these, and it's like you're getting these calls late. It's not like you're getting them at in July or whatever.
Yeah, now
I'm getting them in like November, so it's November to December, so it's kind of gets a little harder and it puts a lot of pressure on you, but I'm glad that obviously Husqvarna saw something in me and they gave me and locked me in for 2 years, and I felt like, and I was just like, man, I just need a shot. Just give me a shot where I can have a successful off season. And here we are. We had a really good off season last year, and Supercross went well. So
yep.
I definitely think going into next year, I feel like I'll even be better.
In case you didn't know, what Husky saw was you were really, really fast on a dirt bike.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm just glad that they saw it.
Yeah.
Like I just
they
felt
noticed.
They noticed.
Yeah, I just felt like a lot of teams can overlook that, and that's just every rider has their own moments and stuff. I just felt like I just needed just a little bit more time and a little bit more of that edge, and of course training with Alden has been great as well. So he lives here in Claremont. I'm home. I get to see my family on the weekends or whatever, the weekends that we're not off or whatever. So it's just nice. So again, being stuck where you don't want to be, it can weigh on you as well.
Absolutely.
All right, Mookie. So we had a listener question. They wanted to know your favorite and least favorite thing of the Baker's program.
Oh, the diet.
Diet's gotta
and
be the worst.
least
favorite. I say. I think there's a lot of least favorites.
Yeah.
I would say I think that my favorite thing is obviously training with all the guys, the good group of guys. Alden has a phenomenal facility. I think, and it's close. It's close to home, so I think that's nice. I say the least favorite.
If it's
weigh-in day.
I was gonna say if it's not
favorite is probably weigh-in day,
Okay.
the random weigh-in day.
I was gonna say if it's not diet, you're wrong.
Yeah, no, it's definitely 100% diet. So I'd say the random weigh-in day,
Yeah.
you kind of have to keep you sharp. So,
Yeah.
Those random weigh-in days they're a little tough. So I think that's the only edge that I
Right.
would say that's kind of bums you out.
Right.
And he's on you too, buddy.
I've
He
heard the
is on
stories.
you. Oh yeah.
Whew.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's so many times where he's texted me and said, I want to see a picture of you on the scale. And he goes, send a picture of him on the scale. And he goes, no, I want to see black feet on the scale. I'm like, oh man. So, bro, man, it's funny. But actually, of course, I know Alden whenever he was training with James. So we had a little bit of a relationship before then and stuff like that. So, for me to come back over there, it's not like it didn't feel weird or anything, and we just connected right off the rip. So, but time whenever my brother was training with him, I was eating powdered donuts and stuff like that, of course. So
Yeah.
he's like, oh, you ain't gonna get away with that now. I got the little brother now. So,
Oh man.
but it's been going good. So I would say the least favorite is definitely the random weigh-ins.
Okay. All right, I got a couple more questions for you. Actually, one's just a comment. I want to say thank you for not doing Pulp MX last night. Steve said he reached out, but you couldn't do it. And I always try to make sure I get guests that aren't on his show on Monday night so we don't kind of go back to back. And I was like, watch. I was thinking all morning yesterday. I finally got Malcom, and watch. Steve's going to get him too. So
no, I always say, like, if I'm dedicated to one show, like I didn't want to do it back to back. I was like, that's not right. I don't ever want to do that. So well,
thank you.
Well, yeah, and you reached out, and I feel like we've been trying to do this for a while. So yeah, so no disrespect to Steve.
No, Steve's the man.
But I said he first come first serve.
Yeah,
I'll get you in first, and that's just the way it should be.
Steve's great. I do a show for Steve, but thankfully I was thankful of that. But my question is, a little while ago you talked about getting back to the races, seeing everybody, the reunion of like the family. This weekend, one of the family members, who maybe you're not so fond of seeing all the time, had a little incident. What do you make of what you've seen or heard from the Justin Barcia, Dylan Ferrandis? Do you have a point of view on that?
I mean,
you don't have to answer.
Fair, honestly, when I saw the video, or when I saw the pictures that Ferrandis posted, it's hard to. Of course, you can only just see him getting blown off the track, whatever.
Right.
Then Barcia posted a video, I don't know if it was yesterday or 2 days ago, whatever. They both ran into it. I don't know who originally started before that, so it's of course, but at the same time, man, like it's I already know what it feels like off the track. I already know what it feels like to get blown off the motorcycle. So
yeah,
if you're asking me if I'm surprised, no, not at all, not even a little bit. But at the same time, I would say if it was only his first time doing it, yeah, he can get a pass. But this has been going on for a little bit now.
And that's why the
DQ
DQ
is what
happened.
It is. I mean, of course, I got to race the guy, but at the same time, man, I'm more saying just hopefully Ferrandis isn't hurt or anything like that.
Right.
Dylan's gonna get him back. I mean, I just feel like he's gonna get him back just out of retaliation. It maybe this weekend, maybe Moto 1, maybe practice, who knows? But when usually the downfall is when a guy does like that, you're gonna set a tone at some point. You're not gonna let it sit for a little while. So, but I don't know, man. It doesn't surprise me if that's what you're asking.
No, I was just wanting your thoughts.
Yeah. So,
all right, we got one more for you.
If it happens to me, I don't know.
Yeah.
I already had it happen once. But,
we were there. You were heated at Anaheim.
I'm hoping it doesn't happen again, but
sure.
If it does, we're going to be on the bottom.
All right, we got one more question for you. We'll let you go.
All right, Malcolm. So, excuse me. So, is it? I can't win around
You're
here.
The worst.
It's okay. I'm the worst. But so is it safe to say that your dad is the GOAT of moto dads? Like, he's been doing this for like 30 years now.
He's been doing it for a while now, huh? No, I think he's been, yeah, I mean, but I also feel like, I do feel like the dad that's probably going to be taking over eventually at some point was going to be Jet and Hunter's dad.
Yeah.
Because, of course, them two, they're young. They're still in the 250 class. So I feel like of course, they've already been very successful. So who knows, man? You never know. But yeah, Pops he's definitely been in the game for a while, So, but he loves going to the races, man.
Yeah.
He's a dad.
Sure.
At that point, they're dads. They're happy. Their sons are out. They had, one son had his very successful year. Now you got the other ones trying to do what his thing is. So he's just a happy dad.
Yeah.
Is he still just dancing on the sideline when you're coming by?
No, hey, I will say one thing. Something about his hands just makes you look. I don't know why. He was standing in front of the mechanics area, and I was looking at him and not even reading my pit board because it was I knew what I need. Long as he's coming around the corner, I'll come around the corner and he's clapping or whatever it needs to be doing. I don't need those pit board. Yeah. I know what those hand signals are.
That's awesome.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he comes. What the cool thing too is he actually comes to Alden's a lot. and helps me what just being there in general. He comes a lot and stuff like that. It helps me, it helps RJ, and helps Jalik and everybody else. But I always tell him, I said, you ain't just coming up here for just us. He does his little roundabout, and there's a massive car auction, and they also have like a swap meet that's not too far away from Alda's, and he does his little scenic route on the way home.
Yeah,
so, yeah. He, like I said, we are talking about the man that is in the old school and stuff like that.
Corvettes,
so,
right?
Yes, and I will say I will say as a dad, I say the most annoying thing that they should never get on is Facebook Marketplace. Ever since that has came out, it has gone insane. Every friend that I know that their parents is Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They can't let it go. Cannot let it go.
You watch your mouth, sir. I was on Facebook.
I know.
I bought
I'm
something
so
off
sorry,
yesterday.
but I'm just telling you.
TJ's on Marketplace right now.
My dad's like, they're giving it away.
Exactly.
I just gotta get it.
Exactly. yeah, because that's the literal conversation I had with my wife yesterday when I went to go buy a trailer. I'm like, did you see how cheap this is?
Yes. Oh yeah. I literally, my mom is just like, I can't. He can't control himself.
Right.
I'm like, I don't know.
Hey, I told you that was the last one, but I really, just real quick, did you get to watch the race back? What'd you think of your brothers announcing?
No, it's good.
Yeah.
I think the announcing's always good. He always has that little sense of humor in him, and of course, when he does his little podcast, you guys can see a little bit of spurts of that. But yeah, no, it's. I think he did a phenomenal job of announcing it. He actually, to be honest, he reminded me of like Grant Langston when he was doing it a lot. You know, they have that little, just their ways of saying and talk about riders and stuff.
Yeah,
it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, it's good having him back. He's getting back involved a little bit. It's good to see his face around. Yeah. So, Malcom, we're going to let you go, man. We took enough of your time. It's been a pleasure finally getting you on here. Hopefully it won't be another 6 years before we do it again.
No. I got the number now, man. I'll tell you what you got to do.
Yeah, I got it figured out. I know the science behind it now.
I appreciate it, man. Well, thank you guys for having me on. And are you guys going to any races?
I'll be at Paula. I'll be at Paula.
Nice.
Yep. I work for Vital now. I don't know if you knew that. Probably not. So, yeah, I'm full-time Vital, so I'll be there.
Okay, good deal. Yep. All right, well, I'll see you guys then. All
right, man. Thanks, Mookie.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Bud. See ya. All right. Dude, that was fun. That was great. So glad we finally got it.
That's been one of our better ones in a while.
Yeah, he was so excited and into it, and I
think he's that way with everything.
But I mean that's a great personality, right? Why it sucks that it took so long to get him on.
Sounds like you didn't listen to him. He tried to tell you.
No, he never told me that until Minneapolis.
I will say that I
didn't believe him.
If they'd have known the secret code, then maybe they would have found Stu when they were looking for finding Stu.
You gotta call him first.
You gotta call, leave a voicemail.
Yeah, that was great. Okay, commercial break. We'll be back with Jordan Troxell, mechanic for Ken Roczen. I got to do a test call with him real quick.
Test call?
He just wants me. He's in the shop working, so I got to call him and he'll walk out. So how's did we get any answers for the socks on how many pictures you posted? You're not even paying attention, have you?
No, I don't think anybody said anything.
Yeah, no one said anything. Well, there's no posts, so I mean they're all winners.
They all answered together.
He's like, I hate it when TJ's in studio. I can tell that y'all have got y'all's rhythm built or whatever, and I keep jumping in.
Yeah, I was like,
he said
you've interrupted me only like 7 times.
Yeah.
You got to be quicker than that.
Or just don't interrupt people.
I can't help it.
Yeah, it's okay. It's your show technically, so I can't say much.
No, it's not. It's y'all's.
Oh,
some of the equipment's is. That's about it.
Jake said 9.
Never heard of Jake.
Jake was wrong.
9 posts since the. Go look again, Jake. There's
Do you even know?
Since the last show. Yeah, we
one of them I did.
So
there's a thumbnail from the last show, and there's a thumbnail from this week's show. There's only a certain number of posts in between, and that was 2 weeks ago.
Go to the week before that.
I said since the last show.
And I apologize for missing this last week. Well, let's not.
His feelings hurt.
I was doing a lot better. I had I had a rough couple of days. I'm sorry, guys. Heaven forbid I take an opportunity and try to better my life around here.
Exactly.
I was got a job interview and was dealing with all that. Heaven forbid.
Are you gonna cry?
I think
Might just cry a little bit.
I bet he's hilarious when he cries with his Mickey Mouse voice.
we just saw it.
I'm trying to remember the last time I cried. Oh,
It's been that long since you've had sex?
It was fucked up.
All right, we are back. We've got another guest coming up. He's going to be brought to you tonight by Racetech, which is the world's largest aftermarket suspension modification company. All Racetech products include award-winning gold valves and settings are 100% guaranteed and made in the USA. Visit racetech.com for more info and use promo code MOTOXPOD to save. Tonight, Racetech brings us from Factory Honda, Ken Roczen's mechanic, Jordan Troxell. What's up, Jordan?
What's up, fellas? How you doing?
Doing good, man. Glad to finally get you on here.
Yeah, I've been trying for a while.
Yeah. You've been busy though. I mean, there is a pro motocross series going on. You're a little busy.
Yeah, it's the norm. Seems like the weeks that you have off, I don't, and vice versa.
Right.
So glad we finally connected.
Yeah, me too, man. So you've been wrenching for Kenny for a few years, but how'd you get your start in the industry? I know you went to MMI and kind of got your foot in the door, I think, with Shea Bentley. Is that really what got it started?
Yeah, I did go to MMI. I graduated there January of 2008. It's funny, the Shea Bentley story comes in. It was that Florida Gold Cup series or whatever they run, winter or springtime. I was just a kid fresh out of school, getting ready to graduate, and I didn't want to, do any dealership stuff. So I started going to those Gold Cup races on the weekend, just kind of selling myself for free. Ended up running into Shea, helped some of his kids out for a few weeks or a few months there while I was trying to get some other things sorted. And I just had a couple weekends there in the motorhome with him. Those are some good stories to look back on during that time for sure.
Yeah, I would imagine you probably get asked at least once every race. Probably somebody comes up to you, hey, man, how do I get to do what you get to do? And it comes down to almost you got to work your butt off for free for a while and get some connections.
Yeah, I feel like everybody has a different story, a different path. I feel like mine is one of the, I won't say the hardest, but as far as it's very linear as far as, starting from the bottom and just going around to those races and working on the weekends for free and handing out resumes. And those were the days where like Jimmy Dakotas and Justin Barshall were battling each other as amateurs.
Yeah.
Ian Treadle was battling AC on 80s. So I was there at those races, just, handing resumes out and trying to get noticed. And eventually got in the hands of Ronnie Goodwin's dad in Las Vegas and ended up having a meeting with those guys. I was actually racing pit bikes kind of semi-professionally around that time also. So I was out there for Mini Moto and met Ronnie's dad, Ron, and ended up being hired on the spot. Ended up staying in Vegas for a couple weeks. Everybody flew back and just kind of started my career right there.
At that time, like to me, where you're at now, Factory Honda, that's the pinnacle for a mechanic, for the technical side, for all the little cool things that you see on the Factory Hondas. Like that's the ultimate. Was that your ultimate? Like, was that like, if I could be anywhere, I want to go to Factory Honda, and you finally got there? Or were you kind of like, I just want a job anywhere almost?
As a kid, yeah, you definitely, I wouldn't necessarily say it was Factory Honda, but you definitely looked at, I came in that mid-90s era where MC and Skip Norfolk, the pairing and watching those guys on the TV. So Factory Honda definitely had a lure, but I was a Cowie kid growing up. Obviously, a KX60 and a KX80 was a natural progression. So we had help from Kawasaki dealership. So I kind of always wanted to, just be on a factory team, but, fast forward, through a few years of amateur and privateer stuff, I just wanted to get on any team that had a good budget
Sure.
and where I could fly to the races and stuff like that. So, that kind of goes back to that linear progression thing where I just, never dreamed of being on a team like this. But if you just, just go up the ladder step by step and whether you call it fortunate or luck or hard work or whatever, found myself here. So.
It's a pretty cool place to be.
So the most interesting thing you said during that whole deal was you were racing pit bikes.
Yeah, your eyes raised a little bit,
Yeah.
TJ.
So I worked for and did a lot of product design for what's it called, CHP. We had Willie Browning racing for us. Like, where were you? Were you racing during all that time?
Yeah, so I moved to Central Florida, Orlando, actually, to go to school, like right at the height of Orlando Water Sports Complex, so 2006.
Yeah.
Scene was real big down there. I had back in Virginia, my hometown, I had a track and a big group of friends, and we rode. And I don't know, kind of as a teenager, you just always have one of those aspirations. I wanted to be a professional pit bike rider and a professional mechanic. And the pit bike scene, like I said, it was hot and heavy then, and I just showed up, ran some stock stuff, started running some races, was able to compete with some of the guys like Chris Savage down there. Doug Sullivan rode for Dump Star. He's actually probably my best buddy to this day still. I remember the 156 CHP bike also. I ended up working at that track, the Orlando Water Sports Complex pit bike track, is kind of running the track. And man, that was kind of the heyday of life, really, because I'd run the track from like 4 to 8 for the kids and pick them up. And then Doug and my buddies would come over and we would just kind of have a private pit bike session on one of the coolest tracks in the country for a few hours every night.
Damn.
Just under the lights, just doing our thing. So,
dude,
I ended up there was a Swedish team. It was kind of a knockoff. It's called Pit Pro.
Yep.
They brought a couple bikes over and they wanted to get an American rider. They had this kid from Sweden, maybe. We ended up doing like a mini moto series up in New England with them. They kind of supported me there for a year before the whole scene went south.
Yeah, and then I missed the pit bike day. I know these guys are looking at me like I'm crazy.
No,
but
that was cool.
That was fun.
There's nothing more fun than punting your buddy over a berm on a pit bike. That is literally what dirt bikes are about.
I mean, it's fun on a big bike, too, to punt your buddy over a berm.
Yeah, but you could do it wide open on a pit bike.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I watched the Nitro Circus pit bike championship thing last night. That was cool.
It's crazy to see, like 15, almost 20 years later, that there's this resurgence, this second surge of the craze, and it's just it's awesome to see. But I also kind of laugh and like, you guys are 15 years behind the 8 ball. Like this thing already came and blew up and died once. So.
Yeah,
we traveled the country. We used to go up to Cooper's all the time and ride there. We did I helped run a lot of that stuff, and I was terrible on pit bikes. I was obviously a mechanic during that time because I couldn't ride like that good. But yeah, not much better than that time, in my opinion, on racing. Yeah,
for sure. It was a good time. I miss it.
So, being a factory mechanic, especially a guy of Kenny's caliber, there's a lot of pressure on that, and at some point you essentially kind of have his life in your hands in a certain way on the way you do working on the bike. So I just kind of want you to talk about the pride you take in your work and how serious you take, the intricate details of doing that.
Before he answers that, let me tell you something. So the first time I really ever talked to him was Thunder Valley. And the reason I went up and talked to him might have been actually after that, but he was polishing his frame on Friday. And I'm telling you, there was planes crashing. That thing was so bright. I have never seen how detailed he was working on thing was unfreaking real.
Yeah, that frame thing. I mean, all of us do that. We all have our secret sauce and a lot of elbow grease, and you just scrub those things so they shine. But going kind of back into the deeper part of that, I feel like it's one thing that I've always held real pride in, and I learned from people at a young age. I think I spent 6 months with Naveen at Honda of Houston, and around 2011 time, and that was one of the things that he really drove into me. Is it's always lasted with me, and I've always tried to teach it to some of the younger guys that I've tried to mentor throughout the years, is that it doesn't really matter what you have going on in your life, whether you're sick or you're stressed or you have an emotional something going on at the house. Every day that you show up to work and you touch that motorcycle, every bolt that you touch, you have someone's life in your hand. And that always kind of really stuck with me, and it's still at the forefront of any and everything I do on this motorcycle or anybody's motorcycle, period. One mistake in the wrong spot is, some really bad consequences. So it's just, it's always on the forefront of my mind, and it's what I try to teach young mechanics coming in, or anybody that's kind of half-assing it or whatever. It's like, hey man, there's repercussions when things don't go well. And we're all human and we all make mistakes. I think the biggest key is not to make the same one twice. Learn from your errors. But you definitely you have to hold your work to a high standard. And I think if you do that, the rest should follow type of situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously like you just talked about all those things, and so at some point that has you can only do so much from what the company that you work for gives you. So kind of talk about like how much factory Honda kind of holds that same regard, and like the things that they give, and the tools and stuff that they allow you to use to be able to do the things that you need.
I think that's one of and I'm probably kind of blind to it and spoiled in the sense that that's one thing really good about a team like Honda or maybe some of these other factories is just the resources, the reliability, the sustainability that the whole team or the parts package or whatever from Japan that we have access to and knowledge and things like that is it's superior product across the board. And, they've had 20, 30 years of trial and error before I ever showed up to this team. And so they know, what works, what companies they can work with, where their part suppliers come from. They just have it figured out. And I think that's one of the nicest things about being a mechanic is you can kind of trust the process around here. You can trust your seniors, things like that you're just, there's not a guess here as far as product goes or anything like that, which, really ties into helping me do my job to give the finished product to a rider.
You've had a lot of different riders through the years. You can talk about Jesse Nelson, Tara Geiger, Cole Seeley, Christian Craig. Right now, obviously, with Kenny, is there anyone that was maybe a little more picky than the others that kind of like, or actually, I want to rephrase my question. Has there ever been a rider when you're out testing and they want you to change something and you say, okay, I changed it, and then they say it's good, but you actually didn't change it, or because it doesn't need to be changed?
As far as trying to trick them on a change,
yeah.
I've never really done that. Sometimes I would like to, but
okay.
I don't know. There's kind of always that fear that if you change something without their knowledge or understanding, and then something goes wrong, then you're kind of at fault.
Yeah.
So try to steer away from that. But each rider is different in their own way as far as what they're picky about. Some are picky about tires or levers, and others don't care about that, and it's all about suspension, and others focus way more on the motor and the delivery, or their quirks and nuances on race day and their routine. So it's just kind of to each their own. I think one of my traits or ability is to learn that person and just their cues, their personality cues, their mental cues, try to be able to read them at all times, know when they're high, know when they're low, and just be able to work around each person individually for that.
Well, let's stick with that topic for just a second. Obviously, the last couple of years, Ken's been dealing with some things, and from the outside, we don't necessarily know exactly what it is. He's tried to deal with some health issues and, all the things going on. What is your relationship like with Ken? Are you somebody that you guys have a close enough relationship where you can have a little pep talk, have a little just, comforting talk, or do you sort of stay away from that side and just talk about bike stuff and race stuff only?
Man, that's tough. I mean, I feel like we've done all and everything in between and more as far as conversation goes at times. Yes, he can be a mystery sometimes with what he has going on. And, I think there's a fine line sometimes where I have to, be on race day no matter what he has going on. We still kind of have a job to do and a purpose and why we're there. So there's times where I have to, kind of look him in the eye and say, hey, man, I know there's some shit going on, but we're here to get a job done. So let's put our head down and do it. And then also there's times where, we have bad days or we know bad days are there, and you just kind of got to be supportive also. And realize that even though the result's not there and the struggle and I'm frustrated, maybe the team's frustrated, like you ultimately have to know that he is also like his frustration underneath the helmet when he's not feeling well or things aren't going great. I don't know. There's kind of that line where you can see it in a person where it's like, this is a time to be stern, or like, hey, this guy is just struggling. So he just needs some support right now.
Yeah,
type
that
of
makes
thing.
tons of sense. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so kind of talking about Kenny still, did it surprise you at all this past weekend that kind of what was considered to be probably the hottest, humidest, most humid conditions that we've had this season? Did it kind of surprise you to see how strong he was at the end of the second moto?
Honestly, nothing surprises me with him. Did I expect it given the last 6 weeks of racing? No. But that's what makes Kenny special is you just never know what day he wants to show up and do that or put it down or battle late into that moto. I was super proud of him for it. Even the first moto, I mean, he had to hold off a charge from Dungey in both motos, and it was a wild the way the overalls were working. We were kind of in a really rough spot right there with 3 or 4 laps to go in the second moto. We had a chance to win it, or if we got past one more time, we would have got fourth. So, yeah, I'm not surprised. It's just I think the key for all of us is just trying to figure that out with him and with the team and the bike, and just be able to bring that every weekend.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny to say that Dungey was fighting Roczen at the end of the moto. That's like
Yeah.
that sounds like something 7 years ago.
Yeah, literally.
It really does.
Yeah. How do you like being on the road? I believe I saw on your Instagram you're in a relationship. I don't know if you're married or have a girlfriend, but like is being on the road on the weekends almost every weekend of the year, it seems like, is that a difficult thing or you still enjoy it?
Oh, I go back and forth on it.
Okay.
I still generally don't mind it as a whole. Yeah, I do have a girlfriend. She's great. She works from home. She actually used to do this. She was a PR chick for KTM. So she did a couple years on the road with me. So she knows how it goes, and the routine and the flights and the early mornings and all that stuff. So she's super understanding there, which I'm really grateful for. I still love racing and I love what I do. So, I enjoy that part of it. However, I was able to buy a house a couple years ago. I have some good group of friends who like to go out on the boat every weekend. So sometimes it's hard, or they'll send me videos or pictures, and I'll be across the country working 14-hour days, and they're just drinking beer on the boat. So that part kind of pulls at you, and you're like, man, what if I was normal and I just had weekends off and could do this? But I'm not quite there yet.
If a position open, like something like Brian Krantz took, would that be ideal?
Yeah, I'm kind of getting to that point in my career where I'm starting to consider those things, look at that stuff. Still unsure, what Kenny's doing with his contract right now. So we're waiting to figure that out. I think I will certainly be here for him.
Okay.
If he's here. If not, I'm maybe willing to explore one of those positions. I'm not really sure.
Yeah. Okay.
So Kenny's kind of an anomaly when it comes, especially to the way the fans kind of support him, and he's kind of been one of those very prolific guys. Just kind of talk about what that's like, seeing him in kind of those moments with the fans.
I don't know. It's kind of wild. I guess it's one of those things. Also, in a career as a mechanic, you grow into the pressures like you spoke about earlier. Kind of his stardom and his personality and who he is. I would say, one thing I think mechanics at this level, myself and several of the others that work with these guys, is just knowing when to say when. And I mean, I get stories every weekend. There's hundreds of people who are begging me to go in his motorhome to get them to sign something, or they're giving you a sad story. And I hear them and I understand them, but at the same time, like, Ken's there to do a job. It's also, he's got his family there. That motorhome that you see, that's his house and that's his space. And if I were to walk in that motorhome every 10 minutes and bug him to sign something, I wouldn't be around very long. So I think a lot of that's on me to kind of juggle and filter out some of that stuff. But when he comes to give his time to fans, he's all in. And then when he wants to go do his thing, he goes and does his thing. So I got to respect that also.
Absolutely. I got one more question for you. In my eyes, this is a very obvious answer, but maybe not. Supercross or motocross for you?
For me, it's motocross.
Okay, I was wrong.
A lot of people think different. I think motocross because it's just the root of the sport. It's what I grew up doing. I mean, it's how we all started, really. Supercross is great for the eyes and the glitz and glam and maybe the money, but outdoors it's twice as hard on the rider. It's twice as much racing. It's twice as work for me. It's twice as hard on the bike. It's twice as hard on the team. So to go to do 1-1 on a national, like you got to be a bad dude on a motorcycle. And I feel like as a mechanic, as a team, you got to be badass too, because that doesn't just happen. We all work for years to be able to get in that position. So for it to come together on an outdoor, I think that just means more to me. There's just more work put into it.
I love it. It's not the answer I expected, and I like that. It was a surprise. So all right, I got one personality question. I ask this every once in a while for you before we let you go. This tells me what kind of person you are. When you hang your toilet paper roll, does toilet paper go towards the back against the wall, or does it come over the front like it's supposed to?
Oh, man. I think I'm a front guy.
Okay.
I feel like I argue with my girlfriend all the time.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I argue just because I always want to put it opposite of however she does it, or if I actually prefer it in the
really
front.
care. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a good answer. I enjoyed that. So cool. Jordan, man, thanks for taking some time. I know listeners maybe didn't get to hear at the beginning. You're still at work. You're still building bikes and working for another hour or so. So thank you for your time and taking a break to talk to us.
Yeah, no worries, guys. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. I'll see you at Paula. Until then, good luck this weekend.
All right. Take care, guys.
All right. See you, bud.
Bye.
That's Jordan Troxell. That was a lot of fun too, man.
He's a
These have been some really good interviews tonight.
He's a masochist if he likes moto as a mechanic over Supercross. I've done both, and yeah, there's no way that I would say. I mean, yes, motocross is the heart, and it's all this, but as a mechanic, yeah, Supercross all day long.
Yeah. Let's take another commercial break because I need to check this audio. There's something going weird with my computer right now.
Mm-hmm.
That never happens.
Yeah,
And that's what I was looking up, dick face.
Is that what you were doing?
I
I was wondering why you're on your phone so much, but I was going to give you crap, and I was like, he's probably looking at stuff for the show. Don't forget, if you're still listening, if you're still hanging in here, we're giving away a set of Fly Kinetic Mesh gear. Go on your Instagram, post a picture of you riding or hanging out with your bike, whatever, working on your bike. I don't care.
Right
Something
now.
moto related, and tag at Motoxpod Show, tag at Fly Racing, and we'll just pick a winner. We want your friends who maybe don't listen to the show to see you tagging the show and start listening. That's kind of the idea behind it. And we'll pick, there's no real, I'm not picking any kind of particular picture. Just, I don't have anything set in my mind. Like I'm looking for this. Just post whatever you want to post. We'll pick a random picture to win a set of Fly Kinetic Mesh gear. We'll be right back.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to look at too. He was trying to show me something. I was trying to see if there was like a thread on it.
I think it just all cleared up. No, it's still, part of it I'm wondering is my eyes, because my eyes are going. No, it's blurry as shit. What the fuck?
It doesn't look blurry to me. It just
No, those icons don't look clear. Like they're not bright and vibrant. To me, they look like they were moving earlier. That's why I was like, oh, maybe it's just my eyes. But I like the words over here. They were really, really effed up. Is it not? Maybe it's not as bad now that it's not recording.
it doesn't look bad to me. It doesn't
It's
look
better, but it also says that it's using like 100% of the processing fees. Shows the progress of any background tasks.
Yeah, I will say that.
I wonder if it's because I'm recording in the background too with that other program.
I think it's because the show is just going on forever.
Where's he going?
I don't know.
Who's gonna check YouTube?
YouTube is going nuts now. What is going?
Sorry, YouTube. Scotty just bailed on you because he's
just bailed.
he's got the bladder of a
Yes, he got
5-year-old
tinkle.
girl. All right, I'm gonna play this back just to make sure it sounds okay. I don't have any
Yeah, sounds good.
Sounded terrible.
Yep.
Your friends.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, let's put the other commercial in. So I hope that Scotty actually goes back and edits all this out. He says he does, but I never check.
Why would you edit this out of YouTube?
Like when Jordan was on the phone and just
Leave it.
no, we cut all that crap out. We cut all the BS that's downtime.
Do you really go back and edit all this stuff out afterwards?
Yeah.
Better.
I
Be
think,
better.
I think
I think I can. I think
I've done it on
He's like-
every the last probably
He's like, I thought that you said you were gonna do that.
probably out of the past 12 to 15 episodes, I've maybe haven't done it once.
Yeah.
but for the most
You
part,
don't
yeah.
always need to.
But he probably didn't do it because he was busy posting on Instagram. Oh no, never mind.
Aw.
That's kind of my MO. I take 3 steps forward and 2 steps back
I
all the
think it's
time.
the other way. 2 steps forward, 3 back.
Oh.
He's always going backwards.
Put them glasses back on, bro.
Yeah, come on.
My glasses look cool.
Come on, Grandpa.
Shut up. Whatever. I ain't listening to you.
Look, you give up on your long hair. You're just getting old.
I mean, that's not a lie. Whatever you want to post.
What?
What the hell is your
Are
tattoo?
you
tired of?
It's a
Are
ruler.
you tired? Are you tired?
You would have that.
No, look, it has inches up here.
Oh, I know how a ruler works.
And then, hey, I did find out.
That was the funniest thing you ever said, Scotty.
I did figure out the other day that they're not making 12-inch rulers any longer.
Are you tired of your bike?
They're not making 12-inch rulers any longer.
Why?
Because if they were longer, they'd be longer than 12 inches.
I joke. Love it. I love it.
That's pretty good.
That's why we cut this shit out of YouTube, because people were like, what
Oh, I
is...
might save that one. I got to save my joke in too.
All right, I'm going to close this program. If you're on YouTube, and hopefully you're enjoying the fact that we're not doing shit right now, but just bear with me. I want to
We just go back to ragging on him again.
Okay, now, does this look clear to you now that the program's closed?
No, it looks
Okay.
the same.
All right. The words were definitely jacked while I was recording. But also Audacity's running in the
I
background.
want some of what you're smoking.
My wife may have some. I was being serious.
I know you were. Yeah, as soon as I clicked on the icon, it went real blurry. Whatever. Sounds fine, so I guess we'll go with it. Let's see if we can get
Somebody
Jericho.
on the deal, Muppet said it's 15 degrees in Sydney.
Probably
Nick?
Celsius.
Yeah, what is that in?
Like 60, 70.
Oh,
You don't have a tattoo that tells you that?
no, no. But look, it has the sockets. So an 8mm socket is a 5/16, 10s, 3/8. I forget some of them. Like 21 is a 13/16.
Hold on. Here, show the camera.
Well, they won't be able to see it. Where is it at?
Yeah, they can see it if you do it right. No. If you're sitting in my chair, you could. There, you can see it. You would have that. What is that? I've never seen that before. Is that new?
Hey,
I've
when
had it for a while.
I introduced Jericho, I'm gonna say something about this album because it's one of our listeners' bands.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna talk about it. So just
So
hey,
maybe-
I think I used one of them in one of our Arizona videos.
probably might have been one of the songs I gave you because
One of
there's
the
no copyright.
yeah.
I was making fun of him. Now I got to piss.
Guys, we're back from our last commercial break of the night, and our next guest is going to be brought to you by X Brand Goggles. X Brand Goggles has grown into one of the top goggle companies for privateers like Kyle Chisholm, Ben LeMay, Ryan Brees, and many of the top GNCC guys. With multiple lines to choose from, the EKS-S, the GOX Flatouts, and the all-new Lucid with Wave Latch quick-release systems, you'll be sure to find something that you like in your price range from X Brand Goggles. Go to your local dealership, ask for X Brand distributed through WPS, or you can email me, darksidemx3@aol.com for pricing. Tonight, X Brand Goggles brings us Derek Rankin, otherwise known as Jericho. What's up, Derek?
Not much, dude. Not much.
You just hanging out right now?
Yeah. You know, I'm over in Carolina. It's about 9:30 p.m. So just, getting ready for tomorrow.
Yeah. You're at BBMX this year, working for Freddy Noren. How's it going?
It's going really well. See, just got our first top 10 overall this weekend. Thanks to Justin Barsha. So we're pretty pumped on it.
It took a DQ, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, hey, like Vin Diesel said, dude, winning's winning.
That's it, man. That's it. Well, how is the team doing? I mean, it's a new team. Technically, it's a new team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a new system.
New old team.
Your new old team. You started the series with a little less frills than the old team. Maybe some smaller canopies, not all the extras. Is it going the way you expected it to?
It is. I don't know what I expected, so
Okay.
I don't know if I have an answer for it. It's going it's going well, I believe, for what my crew is and kind of just how small we've kept it. I don't think we could really expect a whole lot more than what we're getting. So I'm happy with it. I mean, the riders, I believe they're happy. Crew's happy. Like it's going well. I don't think back in the beginning of outdoors, I don't think there was a lot of outside people thinking that we would be at this point in the season still going strong. So I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I can't really disagree with you there. I think there was probably some doubts. You're right.
So going into the outdoors and going through, this year has been full of all kinds of like shockers and things happening and drama and all that kind of stuff. So like it was almost like that whole situation didn't stay in the news that long as far as moto news goes. Like it was a big deal, and then it kind of got overshadowed by the next thing. Have you noticed that in the pits, or is it still something that gets brought up regularly?
No, like I don't really get too many questions about that stuff anymore. Obviously at the beginning, just kind of since I wasn't really around for Supercross, once I came back, I got, hammered with questions just from industry people and whatnot. But I think that's fizzled out now that we've got this deep in outdoors and we've kind of shown like, hey, we're here, like you guys can say what you want and whatever, but at the end of the day, we've been through 10 rounds and done 10 rounds strong. And, we've tried to be quiet just to let the racing do the talking for us. And I think we've kind of achieved that. So I think everything with Supercross kind of behind us as far as like having to address all of that crap, basically.
Yeah.
So, I think we kind of turned a page there.
Yeah, when all that happened, my son was riding Supercross and he was pitting behind the.
Well, he was showing up at Supercross.
Yeah, he was trying to make Super. He's trying. Anyways, I told him he's riding KTMs. I said, just go push your bike under their other truck. They'll have somebody. Yeah, they need somebody.
Yeah, for sure. And just as far as like that one weekend, it was a Triple Crown race, so it's kind of a weird weekend obviously nothing like that has ever really happened in the sport. So it's just kind of a, crazy situation to begin with. But, the fact that it was a Triple Crown definitely didn't help the situation because, a normal night, I was there, so I could have helped out probably and called in a few favors from some friends. But with it being Triple Crown, it had to be a main event guy. So
right.
It just didn't work out on that night. But, like I said, here we are, and we're still here. So we're going to move forward.
Right on. Well, speaking of moving forward, I think you have an announcement to make regarding the team.
So, we've gotten this far into the season, and we've been with Fly Racing for, I think Forrest himself has been with Fly Racing for almost close to 18 years. So, due to everything, painting out the way it did, we've been able to make a change and looking forward to a future right now for these last 2 rounds and hopefully even longer than that with FXR. So
that's a good company. I mean, Fly Racing sponsors this show, and we're friends with all those guys. But I really feel like FXR, in my opinion, that's like the company that I would lean towards if something happened to Fly Racing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if a lot of people know this or not, but Alex Ray is kind of the OG FXR Supercross guy, So,
yeah.
And that was Spider Energy, so it's kind of a little homecoming for me a little bit. So I'm pumped on it. All those guys over there are just sick. Andy's sick, Brad's sick. So very excited about that partnership.
Yeah, they made a big push into the industry coming from like snowmobiles and stuff like that into the, I guess you call it like into motocross, supercross. And I guess a lot of people were skeptical because they had some crazy colors and designs when they first come in, but it's almost
Yeah.
like they set a tone and everybody else had to catch up.
Yeah, I mean that first year with Alex, so like I had never heard of FXR until then, and neither had Alex. And he got that phone call, and he's like, "Hey, you know, because they were gonna pay him a little bit of money." So we're like, "Oh, okay,
Yeah,
well, let's
that
do
didn't
it."
matter, did it?
And we got that real tree set they got.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and we were in Tennessee at the time. That was Tennessee, Alex. That wasn't California, Alex. Yet, so we were like, "Oh yeah, let's do this. Is sick. Let's go."
The real tree stuff wouldn't work at Washougal. You'd lose your rider.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the mechanics area there's crappy enough already. So,
Well, how is it? Are you is your title team manager, or do you even really have a title for the team?
my title right now is just do whatever I have to do.
Okay.
So I'm pretty like it's like right now it's me and Forrest. You know, Forrest is obviously still heavily involved being the team owner, and he's he hasn't been at the races, so which is kind of not ideal for me, just because like I'm still having to wrench and like I'm focused on helping out with sponsors and pretty much everything.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Like pretty much everything. But like I mean it's been good that way though, because it's like I said before, like I just want to keep a tight group,
Right.
So can't let it get too big and before it has a good base.
Absolutely. What you got over there, Scotty?
So it seems like in the past, it's kind of been a little bit monopolized with the gear companies, at least from my perspective. It seems like it's kind of been a couple of maybe two or three, and then it's kind of hard for other ones to get in. What do you think has kind of changed and allowed companies like FXR to kind of get started and grow in this industry?
Well, probably my opinion on that would be just I feel like privateers right now have a lot more exposure, and companies like FXR or Just One, or even like these really small companies that are popping up, like what's that stuff Bubba Pauly wears? I can't remember the name of it, but like the OGs and stuff like that. I think just like the exposure that these privateers have right now with like all the podcasts and YouTube and all this stuff, I think it just creates a little bit more of a easier entrance for them, because they're not approaching a top team that is expecting hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I think that helps mostly, just how entry level it is, like easy for them to get hooked up with a privateer nowadays.
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of those companies, even Fly and FXR specifically, have made a big push with privateers to expand their not their fan base, but just get their gear spread out through more riders. And I think that's really been a marketing, kind of a genius marketing platform. Yeah.
I mean, you can do 15 privateers for the same amount that you could do, a top 250 guy or something. So
right.
I think it makes sense for them, if they're a smaller company, to just kind of saturate the market a little.
How long is this FXR deal? Is it something you guys kind of set up for? Is it through Supercross too next year? I mean, do you have like a multi-year deal?
No, I'm basically right now I'm just for sure, like we'll do these last two rounds, and then Freddy's had a long relationship with them.
Yeah.
So he'll be doing it for Motocross of Nations, and then I mean, it's basically just wanting to start a relationship and just kind of show that we're moving forward.
Okay.
So like I don't want people to kind of think we're pigeonholed into this, not open to new outside.
Yeah, new venue.
Different sponsors that have never been associated with this team. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah, new ventures. That's smart.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's shift gears for a minute, man. You and I are into music. What's the best concert you've been to lately? You've been to a few from what I've seen.
Metallica for sure. Unadilla weekend a couple weeks ago or last weekend. Thursday night before the race, me and Jesse James from Fly Racing went to Metallica in Buffalo.
Wow.
Jealous.
Jealous?
Then we drove down to the race, did the race weekend, and then after the race, drove to Pittsburgh for a second night of Metallica after Unadilla. So, I mean, doubleheader of Metallica. It was, that's the biggest heavy metal band in the world. So,
Of course, yeah. I've never got to see them, so I'm jealous. That's a bucket list. I'm checking off Iron Maiden in a couple months, and then Metallica will be on there for soon.
Yeah, nice.
I don't know if you know who Hellfire is. I feel like you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Tony
Campos.
Guitars.
Yep. So for our YouTube viewers, the new Hellfire album is out. Got it right here in front of us. Just came in today. Reckoning. Tony Campos is the guitar player. He's a Pulp fan and listens to the Moto podcast. And so if you're into old school metal and moto, check out Hellfire. It's a killer album. All three of their albums are just remind me of old school, like, I don't even know, Iron Maiden, Testament type stuff. Just old speed metal.
Is that an actual record?
Yeah, that's a record. Yep.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, they're from the San Francisco area. So the home of thrash metal, Testament, Exodus, Metallica.
That's it.
I mean, the OGs.
Yeah, which actually this particular album that I'm holding, I think is going to be a giveaway because I never got a confirmation that it was coming. I looked, and it's like been 3 weeks, and I looked, and I didn't see the money taken out of my account, so I texted Tony, and he's like, yeah, they usually send you a confirmation, and I couldn't find it, so I ordered another one, and then today this one showed up.
Okay.
So I'm going to have a second album coming, so I'm going to give one of these away to one of our listeners, but we'll figure that out in a couple of weeks, but yeah, Tony's cool, man. They're going to be playing Dallas in like a month, so I'm definitely going to go down and see them play. Where are you living now, Jericho?
Right now I'm in Charlotte with Freddy.
Okay. I didn't know if you were back in Oklahoma or so okay. I was gonna say if you're in Oklahoma, you got to come down and see Hellfire play here in a month or so.
Yeah, I checked out the tour schedule. I want to say he had an Indianapolis show on there, maybe. Which I think it was kind of off-season time, so I'll probably be in Indiana at that time.
Okay.
So, I was definitely going to try to link up with him and go to a show. I mean, he came out to Hangtown a couple times, and, I've seen him at a few races. He's a cool dude. So.
Yeah, I haven't met him yet, but, we're going to hang out when they play 3 Links in Deep Ellum here in a few months, or a month or so. I don't remember, 6 weeks, 2 months. I don't even remember when it is. My schedule's so busy, but... Well, Jericho, man, I appreciate you jumping on, dude. It's always fun to talk to you. I'm glad that you're back at the races. Any chance you're going back to Indy, IRL?
No.
Okay.
Probably not.
Okay.
No, my plan right now is to completely dominate the world of Supercross. So that's my plan. I'm sticking to.
I like it. All right, dude. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you. I'll see you at Paula. I'll definitely see you at a bunch of Supercross races because I won't be at probably half of them next year. So glad you're back, dude. Glad you're back.
Yeah, no worries.
All right, metal horns up. I'll talk to you soon, dude.
All right, boys.
See ya. That's Derek Rankin, Jericho.
Metal horns up.
Metal horns. Throw your metal horns up.
So
No?
do you have you have to ship a phonograph with that thing so you can listen to it?
You've asked me this before. I have a killer record player in there.
No, it sounds sick. It's awesome.
I've been buying lots out. I've kind of been obsessed with albums lately, which this one's the orange one. The one I ordered yesterday was the hand poured. It's like multicolor.
Reminds me of the old Nickelodeon movies.
Why? I don't get the reference, I guess.
Yeah, the VHS tapes were always orange from a Nickelodeon movie. You could tell them through.
Okay. I think
I'm a 90s kid, bro. I'm a 90s
kid. That
kid.
sounds sort of familiar from my
80s kids. We didn't.
Yeah, we had Betamax.
We did not.
Yes, we did.
I don't remember.
You don't remember Betamax?
I know we didn't have it. I remember people Like it was like
Like
not. a
you
thing.
had to
We
choose VHS or
we
Beta.
had VHS.
We had both. I remember the Betamax was like about 3/4 the size of a VHS.
Yeah,
It was like a baby VHS.
I know what it is.
Yeah.
but no, we didn't have that. We were
Be mad like you.
we grew
Damn
up in
it.
the ghetto.
They have it on VHS, but not Betamax.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Oh, I remember one of my neighbors had the fancy fast rewinder.
Oh.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
those things were
Oh,
sick.
that makes me think of like the cassette players. Like I was always mad or jealous of the auto reverse, or like when it would flip sides and you didn't have to actually take it out, or the automatic rewind, or the ones that you could skip songs on cassette to the next song. Like it was smart enough to know. I never had that.
I never had that. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, you could hit fast forward and it would stop at the next song.
Oh no. Well, I had
That was like magic.
I had an 8-track player.
I had
never
one
had
of the. This was the height of new technology at the time. I had because my it was a 2000 Chevy and it had a CD player and a cassette player.
Oh yeah.
But the cassette player, you could buy this special cassette thing that had a cord coming out
Yeah,
of it,
auxiliary
into an
cord,
aux
yeah.
cord, and I plug it into my MP3 player.
Yeah.
That thing was so sick. Yeah,
Yeah.
they would mess up every once in a while.
That's
And you had
how
to,
I used to have. I didn't have the
That's how he
CD.
listens to music in his headphones now. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
I didn't have the CD and cassette player. I had a cassette deck,
yeah,
and then the cassette tape.
Oh,
And
you
I'd
plug it into a
I'd plug it
Walkman?
into my Discman.
yeah,
so
yeah,
I could
yeah,
play, and you just try not to hit any bumps, so it
yeah,
wouldn't skip.
yeah.
Or you could upgrade to the
ding,
more
ding,
expensive
ding.
Discman that had skip proof.
Couldn't tell if it was part of the song or if you hit a bump on the road.
You knew. You knew. Yeah, man, the good old days. I hated cassettes. I get so mad. Even like VHS.
My
I have
very
some-
first cassette, I remember. I found it. Somebody was on my parents' ranch. I guess had a party, a bunch of kids,
Yeah.
and they had dropped a tape, and it was White Snake, and that was my very.
Which one?
I don't know.
Did it have Here I Go Again and In the Still of the Night?
I don't remember.
Still, the night's so sick.
Here I go again on my own.
I don't remember.
How do you not remember?
I
It's
was
one-
like 9.
Yeah, you should. Then it couldn't have been that one. Then you would remember because it's so great.
Still, the night's so
And
good.
Still the night.
But I started playing it, and I'm like,
And
"What
then-
is
oh,
this
what's my other one?
music?
My other I can't think now. I can't think of it. But my other
Tesla.
favorite White Snake song. No.
Oh, not Here I Go Again. Man, see,
No.
Dancing in the Rain or Singing in the
Yes,
Rain.
yeah,
Singing
yeah. Crying in the
Crying
rain.
in the Rain.
Yeah,
That was it.
Crying
That
in
was
the
all the
rain.
same album.
Yeah, that's sick. Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. Okay, one more commercial. Well, one more break. I don't even have any more commercials to put in. We're going to take
Play
one more
'em
break.
again.
And we should be back with Derek Kelley. He has not responded, so maybe we'll be done with the show. I don't know. We'll be right back, or we won't.
Somebody, Garrett put it on there. It's like, I think TJ needs a Red Bull.
Hey, do you know who Thunder Mother is?
Nope.
They're going on tour with the Scorpions, and they're coming to Fort Worth.
Man, I'm gonna look forward to missing that.
When I hear the word Thunder Mother, that makes me think of like an AC/DC tribute band.
That sounds
Maybe
Thunder
that's
from
what
Down
it is.
Under.
AC/DC
But I mean, they're
pretty cool.
playing with the Scorpions, so I
Thunderstruck.
mean, they got to be something
Yeah,
with
I mean,
the
not
deal.
necessarily. I mean, Death of Terrible, but
It's
bands like that sometimes will just take anybody on the road with them.
just somebody.
Oh, all those bands are just a bunch of burnouts that everybody goes to their concerts so they can relive their youth, so they can feel like they're young again.
Did you say anything that's bad? What's wrong with wanting to feel young again and relive your youth?
Just be your age and get over it and move on with your life.
I mean,
So what are you doing? Going to Co Wetzel concerts?
I don't even
he
know who
doesn't
that
care about
is.
music. He doesn't care
I
about
remember
music.
that one time we got into an argument about
Yeah.
music, and he sent us a link to some song, and it was
It's terrible.
good. God, it was so
Yeah,
bad.
I was actually surprised when we were out in California for Anaheim. Was it Anaheim when we were out there?
I
What,
don't
what were we out there at the B&B for? Was that
A1.
that was A1? Okay.
That was a sick BB.
Yeah, but we went down to LA. I met my buddy Monty, and Monty played some shredding guitar, and actually I feel like TJ was actually a little bit impressed.
I was impressed. People can play
Oh, when
guitar
it's
is good.
right in front of your face, dude, it's hard to
Oh,
it's hard to
cool.
deny it.
No, it's not that. It's just like, yeah, but it all sounds the same. Like, great, you could do that, but it sounds the same as every other heavy metal rock band.
That's not true, but we won't go there.
I don't even listen to his.
You listen to
opinions on
like
music.
yacht rock.
I mean, I like a lot of songs, but I'm definitely like a metal guy.
like a flock of seagulls.
You check out Hellfire.
Yeah, I'll check them out. I used them in one of the videos, like I mentioned earlier. Oh God,
Let's see if DK.
Why is he so rude to you?
it's yin and yang, man. It's part of the
I've
gambit.
never been that rude.
Because you're never here.
Oh,
All right, we got him from TruFusion Sports. TruFusion Sports was created out of a necessity of products designed for recovery performance at the highest level. With natural anti-inflammatory ingredients like arnica, Montana flower, and magnesium sulfate, their soaks and topicals relieve pain, mend injuries, and allow muscles to perform at their highest level. Use code MOTOXPOD10 to save at TruFusionSports.com. And guys, I can tell you, as you guys know, I'm training, right, to be in full training mode to be a full-time professional athlete. And I've been using the crap out of his products, and they work. The soak is awesome. Just got my new one in today, sitting here on the table. I don't know if it's on camera or not, but from TruFusion Sports, it's the Derek Kelley check-in. What's up, DK?
Hi, buddy. How's it going?
Well, it's going pretty good. I don't know if you realize that you and I have some beef, maybe.
Like this could be, he could be like,
yeah,
under, like
our jerky
job
beef of the
review.
week?
Is that what you're saying?
It could be the our jerky beef of the week. That's a good call there, Scotty.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
man.
God.
Yeah.
Did I just
I
get a
didn't even
compliment?
know we had beef.
Well, it depends. I'm hearing that you might be in line to be part of the squad, the Troy Dog squad, and I thought you were Motoxpod.
I am MOTOXpod. I am Troy Dog Squad. I am everybody's guy.
Anybody that'll give you attention, huh? That's how it is?
That's smart.
I'm like the neighborhood bicycle.
Okay, fair enough. No, I love Troy Dog, so
And
it's
Grant,
okay.
Grant Harlan's on that.
Yeah.
Deal, so we're okay with it.
Yeah, and he was running our Motoxpod show sticker on the back of his helmet.
Exactly.
So, no, it's cool. Troy Dog is a cool guy. I don't know what you know about him. He is very passionate about the sport and loves helping out privateers.
Yeah. We just got connected, so I'm getting to know him, and yeah, he seems like a really cool dude. So I'm excited to be a part of his little gig and see what we can do.
Well, so what is he offering you? What is Troy Dog squad, the squad from Troy Dog? What does that mean for you?
I mean, it seems like he's going to be pumping me and just trying to get me as much exposure as possible, and I'm just going to be helping promote him and his gig. So, I mean, it's definitely in the works right now. I mean, I texted him the other day. He sent me a package and had like 5 or 6 things with his face on it. I'm like, what exactly is the goal here?
Yeah, exactly.
That is like 100% the right question for that.
Exactly, and it was just a funny thing, but
Yeah.
no, it's all good, and we'll try to do as much good for each other as possible.
Yeah, he was supposed to send me a package of stuff like 6 months, a year ago, and it hasn't shown up yet. So I guess maybe he and I are not as tight as I thought we were. But what did show up was my TruFusion soak.
Yeah, I'm glad that we finally got that to you. I guess the email didn't end up sending to my partner so that they could ship it out. I guess with it canceling the last time, your next order went to their spam folder. So
Oh, gotcha. Well,
yeah, it was
no
just a little
sweat.
mix up.
I mean, I just had to suffer for a couple of weeks and muscle pain, but it went away.
It's good for you.
Yeah, to suffer.
Yeah.
Yeah, the stuff.
It builds character.
I dig the stuff. I've been using it a lot. So anyway, TruFusion's doing good stuff. Hey man, we got 2 races left. Are we gonna get this top 10 or what?
Dude, I'm about at my wit's end with crashing. I mean, I keep tipping over nearly every multiple times, so it's kind of frustrating. But I think I got it this weekend. My trainer Jay Whipple grinded on me today and ran me into the ground a bit. So I was able to stay off the ground all day with probably 60 laps at Glen Helen. So
Okay.
we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, because your last 4 results, if I'm not mistaken, are 11, 12, 12, 12. Like it's 2
Yeah.
guys, Derek. 2 freaking guys.
Yeah, and I'm only a couple of points out of I tied for 11th, and I was 2 points out of 10th. So had I not gotten murdered by a lapper on the last lap, I probably would have gotten 10th this weekend. But that kind of stuff happens. So
Yeah, it does.
That's something I got to figure out position-wise and keeping myself in the right place, you know?
Absolutely.
So for a rider like you who's very consistent with results and stuff like that, what is your outlook for this new Super Motocross series?
Well, there's not a lot of info on that. I hear that they're supposed to be bumping the pay a little bit, so that sounds promising.
That's the
I don't know.
number one thing that privateers care about. I don't care where I end up in points, more money.
Exactly. No, I mean, I'm here to do as good as I can, and if the pay is good, that just allows me to do it a little bit longer. So I'm excited to see where it goes. Competition obviously breeds excellence as far as that goes, and AMA hasn't really had too much competition as far as like other series trying to make it happen, you know. So I think it kind of opened their eyes that a lot of the riders are trying to jump ship for a little bit better pay.
Yeah, I think that even goes back as far as to the Arena Cross series started paying more, started pulling riders away from Supercross and different stuff, and because there was more money to be made there for a guy who could go out and get on the podium at an Arena Cross, or get 16th in a 250 Supercross. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Derek, so when when we heard that you were going to be on the show tonight, I kind of was thinking about your year, and when I step back and look at it as a whole, like, I'm so impressed of how solid you've been all year, and I just think that you've taken a big jump in your career. I just kind of wanted to know what your thoughts on your year have been so far.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm just trying to get better every week, and I think it comes down to I've been able to stay pretty healthy this year, and I've really changed my outlook on my riding. Instead of just kind of grinding and doing whatever I'm told, I kind of have stepped back and I think about it a lot more, and I think about what I can improve on for myself, and not necessarily what somebody's telling me, if that makes sense. Like, you always have people that give you advice, and you have your trainers that obviously help, but if you're out there just running through the motions, you're not doing as well as if you were out there thinking for yourself, you know?
How is the AEO Power Sports team still treating you right, Amanda and Jeremy?
Yeah, everybody's great. It's a awesome program. It sounds like I'm probably going to be on there next year.
That's what I thought.
But yeah, I mean, we're still working out the details. But
Yeah.
Everybody over there, I love the vibes, and the team's great. The bike's awesome, and I'm excited to grow with them.
Yeah, Jeremy had some good things. I sat or watched a interview that Michael Lindsay did when I was out there in California with Jeremy, and yeah, he had some good things to say about you. He really likes you. So, and I think we're going to get Amanda on the show soon. She doesn't really answer her texts very well, but we'll get it done.
Hey, it's not just you.
Yeah, Jeremy told me that. I texted her like 3 times because I want her on this show, and she never answered. I hit up Jeremy, and he goes, yeah, she's not very good at it. And then she did respond, but she asked if she could do it next week, and I'll be driving out to Paula next week during this show, and then the week after I'm driving back here. So in a couple weeks we'll get her on, but it seems like she's doing a really good job, and I like the fact that she's a female. I think it's cool to have more females in these positions in the industry. It's just cool to see. Courtney Lloyd just got named team manager for Club MX for World Supercross, and then why is my mind blanking? Christina Denny is going to be Team USA one of the team manager of Team USA. And I think it's really cool to get the women that are in our sport in some higher positions, I guess, that when they're doing really good things, they're pretty good at being organized and dealing with that kind of stuff. So I think they fit in that position well.
Definitely. Yeah, they definitely bring a different dynamic to a team.
Yeah.
And they have a lot to offer that if it's all guys, we kind of have our certain ways, and it's good to have a different outlook on things sometimes. So, yeah, no, it's been great. And like I said, a lot of my success has been due to being on AEO and having a great environment. Everybody, like, obviously we want results, but it's a different vibe than a lot of other things I've been a part of, So it's really constructive.
Yeah, and I think you and Josh Varese and I guess who's your other teammate? Is it?
It's Austin. Austin Black.
Austin Black. That's right. So, but you and Joshua have had, I think, a pretty good season. Obviously, trying to break in that top 10 is where you guys probably should be, and you're getting there. But it's a relatively new team, and you're figuring things out. So for the first year, I don't think it's a big issue, right? I think it's just going to get better. You're going to get more support for KTM, and I see it being a team that grows into something that, again, just gets better every year.
No, for sure, and I see it kind of going that way. Look at TLD, how they started out. They started in a similar way with being a smaller 250 team, and now they've grown to having 3 riders and full factory support.
Yeah, or even Star or whatever. Yeah,
I definitely see it growing, and with Jeremy running it and everybody a part of the team, being really motivated, and obviously if we keep getting better results, it's only going to be better for the team.
Absolutely. Well, Derek, we're going to let you go. We're going to wrap this thing up. I just wanted to check in with you. I wanted to hear what you had to say about Troy Dog. I'll let it go for now because Troy's good people. Oh, you got one?
Can I ask one quick one?
Go ahead, Scotty. Go ahead.
I just wanted to know what you thought was which track this season outdoors has been the best version of itself.
It's my first time at Budds Creek, so I honestly really enjoyed it this weekend. I think that was probably my favorite one so far. But we've had great weather all year, so it's hard to complain about any of the tracks. Like Unadilla could have been a little bit better with the prep. I think they forgot the water until the morning of. So, I mean, they've all been really good. There's not a lot to complain about, and especially if we're racing pro nationals and all the tracks get rough. So, I'm just looking forward to finishing out this year strong with good weather.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be good these next couple of weeks. I really. I thought you had another one. I want to see you get that top 10, man. So I want to be there at Palo when you get it, but I'd like to see you get it this week too, coming up. So
I'm planning on being way up there this weekend and next weekend. So the next two tracks I'm really comfortable on, and I actually got my first points at Ironman. So I'm fairly excited to go back to there, and I can see myself doing really well both rounds. Well,
let's get it done. When are you officially part of the squad? Is that this coming weekend?
I think I am now. I got the package and I'm waiting on an agreement. So I think when I sign that agreement, that will be.
He says I got pictures of his face.
If the terms are up to spec, that'll be the official.
All right,
part of the squad, I guess.
Just as long as you remember, MotoXpod show was there first.
I'll always be a part of the MotoXpod show. You guys, I'm not jumping ship for anybody.
All right, Derek, man. Hey, I appreciate you jumping on here anytime I ask. I know you always got a lot going on, but good luck this weekend, and I'll see you in Paula in 2 weeks.
Of course. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate the continual support and hyping me up. So
anytime, man.
Love coming on your show.
All right, buddy. Thanks.
Thanks, Jamie. See ya.
That's Derek Kelley. I know TJ's ready to get out of here, but we got to make one more call.
What the?
Just let's hang tight, guys. We'll be right back.
What's happening?
What's up, Fast Freddy Noren?
Just hanging out, watching Derek's interview with you guys. It was good.
What
I like it.
What grade would you give him? Like an A or a F?
Oh yeah. No. He was good, man. I love it. I kind of wanted to hear more of Derek. I'm like, let's interview him some more.
But put him on the spot.
It was good. Yeah, it's nice to hear my guy.
Yeah.
Do interviews.
I mean, he's your guy unless somebody better comes along, though, right?
Say what?
He's your guy unless somebody better comes along, or is he your guy?
Well, he's my guy. I don't know who would be better.
No, he's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's really good. So I'm pumped to have Derek with me. Again, it's been a few years. He left me to go be full factory life. I don't really blame him. The paycheck was better. But he's back and he's staying in my house. He's staying on he's very picky, so we got him on 3 mattresses right now. No, he's not really picky. We've just been buying mattresses because we're building a log cabin
that's cool.
for Airbnb eventually. But so we're letting Derek be a mattress tester right now. So it's kind of funny.
How is it living with a professional wrestling maniac and metalhead?
Yeah, it's not bad. He's very respectful. He has his own room. So yeah, no, it's good. It's fun. He actually we went on that break and he wasn't here for a little bit, but no, it's good. We've also had Trey. Sorry, Trey, if you watch this, I don't know your last name. He works for races for Caden Amarine. He's staying here for a couple of days as well, so it's fun. We have a full house.
That's cool. That's a lot of fun having some people over at the house. The wife's okay with it?
Yeah. No, Amy, she loves having people around. So she's more of a people person than I am. So she,
all right.
She's like, we better get it set up. So
yeah.
No, it's good. It's been fun.
Well, Freddie, how do you feel about your outdoor season so far? Broke a top 10 finally at Budds Creek. That's got to feel good.
Yeah, no, definitely. I feel like that's where I should be. This whole year is in, 10th or better. So it felt nice to get it done with a couple rounds left to go. So it started out, the first 2 rounds were pretty good. We didn't have a whole lot of time on the bike before that. So everyone did a good job, though, and we rode really well. And then I had had back issues. I still actually have some back issues that's causing nerve problems in my left foot. So I have a foot drop. It's what it's called. So missed quite a few rounds there, and then I've kind of been racing my way into shape again. I started at Millville, and I've been on the bike 2 days at that point. But yeah, it's getting better. I'm learning how to adapt with my foot as far as shifting and stuff like that. We're running some crazy gearing on the bike to accommodate the difficulties of shifting, but it's going pretty good. So.
Yeah, I was talking about with Derek. Well, I'm stuttering all over my words here. With Jericho, I was talking about being kind of the first year for the new setup with the team. I know it's a team that's been around technically, but it's a little different, right? A little different system. So just trying to figure everything out, figure the bikes out, figure out what the new program is. It's not always easy, right? It's not easy to just go right into a professional series when there's been such big changes. Yeah,
no, definitely not. I think Derek's done a great job. Yeah. Time when you don't have a whole lot of time, it's difficult, and we're competing against all the factory guys, and they certainly have had a lot more time than we have. So
absolutely,
I think Derek's done a great job. Benny's had some great races as well. So I think we're doing the best we can, and I'm proud of the boys. So it's been good.
Good deal.
So we have one of our listeners in the live chat on YouTube. The name is Sportin' Wood, and he said he tried to buy some of your merch, but it wouldn't ship to Washington for some reason. He said he tried a couple of months ago.
Yeah, I saw that comment. If he sent, I'm not sure why it's not working.
Because
I've had orders. So if he wants to send me an email to my to norenmx@gmail.com.
Awesome.
And then we'll try to get that sorted for sure, because I don't want that to happen to him or anyone else.
Yeah,
so I need to get that figured out. I didn't even know that was an issue, so I'm glad he brought that up. I'm glad Derek went on the show so I could see that. So
he's a good
have
guy.
him send me an email and we'll get that figured out.
Yeah, we'll get you guys connected. He's a good guy. He's a Pulp MX fan and listens to our show, and we chat back and forth on Monday nights when the Pulp show's on. So he's good people. So
Nice. Awesome.
Freddie, are you still in X Brand?
I am. Yeah. X Brand, that's the longest company I've been with since I came to America. So I love the products. Rich is awesome. So I'm pumped to be racing or riding with him.
Yeah, I think you were one of the first guys to wear the Lucid, as far as like it was still a prototype. I think when you were testing it, weren't you?
I certainly was pretty early with it.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it was a test goggle or if it was out yet at that point. So I started with it in the Supercross last year, 21.
Yeah, Houston or something like that. I think I saw you with it. I think I came out and took some pictures of it because it was – I don't think it had been officially released to the public yet at that time. I might be wrong.
Yeah, no, I can't remember.
Yeah,
but
good stuff.
I was that goggle was awesome. So I was pumped on the new design and just how it fits in the helmet and everything as well. So it's I really like it. It's a good goggle.
Yeah, I've never been picky on goggles, but the first time I put those on, I was like, okay, I got to switch all of my old X brands out to these. They're that much better.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they really are.
Yeah, I have a goggle case full of the old
vision.
ones.
Yeah.
And then they also make those tear-offs that has like a perimeter seal around them, which is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're doing, racing motos and stuff like that. So keep it fresh.
That's it.
Yeah, Freddie, I was just kind of curious of how your music taste and Jericho's lined up.
Well, we don't really listen to the same type of music, but
that's kind of what I figured.
I mean, I'm flexible, but no. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll go to a concert with him one time. I'm not sure. We'll have to work on that. But yeah.
He's taken a couple of his riders to concerts that maybe weren't guys. I think he took Bogle, and like Bogle Bogle's a hip hop guy, but I'm pretty sure Bogle went to a concert with him. I could be wrong, but yeah. That's fun. I could see you going. I think I could see you in a mosh pit, Freddie.
Oh boy. I don't know about that.
Okay.
Maybe I'll just watch Derek.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can just imagine the wrestling room with death metal blasting.
yeah.
It can be kind of intimidating sometimes.
Can you imagine like waking up? You got to go in there and wake up Jericho in the morning, and he's probably naked with his belt on.
His wrestling belt.
Yeah, he's got his wrestling belt on and some Slayer in the background. Yeah.
Well, I'm certainly not going to open the door and try to find that out. So
He's like, thanks for warning me.
If we have to be late to the track because he's sleeping in, I'm just going to wait.
Yeah, fair
I won't take
enough.
my chances.
That's great. Before we let you go, man, 2 rounds left in the outdoors. What are your goals? What are your expectations for the last 2?
I would say to have 4 motos inside a top 10. So whether that's 10th, 4 top or 410th or better, that's what I want to do. I think that's where I should be. So starts have been pretty good. We spent some time testing and getting the bike a little bit more dialed. So I'm pretty confident. It's a very fast class, obviously.
Yeah,
so got to get that start, and but I think I could do it.
Okay. Did you have something else, CJ?
Yeah, I was just going to ask him if he had plans for World Supercross, or if he's going to stay doing all the nationals and Supercross next year in the U.S., or what is his plans?
Yeah, so at the moment I do not have World Supercross plans. Not that wouldn't be willing to or interested. Like I would definitely be interested to do that. But I don't have those plans at the moment. We'll do Motocross Nations for Team Sweden, so that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I have plans to do Red Bull Strike Rhythm right now, so we'll see how that goes. I have my 2-stroke I bought from Chad Reed last year. And I had Power Band just build some Supercross set for that.
Nice.
So we'll see a little bit how it goes, but I definitely planning on being here doing Supercross next year. So
Awesome.
I'll be in America for a long time. I'm pretty much American.
I like it.
I'm Swedish.
Yeah.
I'll always be Swedish. I love Sweden, but I love this country too.
Heavy metal is big in Sweden.
Yeah, I was surprised you didn't like heavy metal being from Sweden.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's pretty big. I just never really listened to it.
He lives in the country.
And I got here and started listening to country. So I listened to country or
we gotta go, Freddie. We gotta go.
Christian music or something like that. So the metal part has never really stuck to me. But
I'm with you with that. No, I'm not into it either. Just these two guys.
But I support Derek.
There you go.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to Power Band Racing 2, a sponsor of the BBMX team and a sponsor of the MotoXpod show. Power Band Racing is a suspension company dedicated to providing the best service and products. They are a WP authorized service center and look forward to serving the MotoXpod show listeners. So follow them on Instagram and Facebook or email us at motoxpodshow@gmail.com for more info. Power Band Racing supporting Benny Bloss and Freddy Noren. They can support you too. Freddie, dude, I'm glad you jumped on here for a minute. It was a bit of a surprise, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. It's certainly was a little surprise. Didn't plan on it, but it was fun for sure.
Yeah,
so
man.
Thank you for having me on, and love to come on again. Just let's do it.
We'll get a schedule, man. Good luck this weekend. Get that top 10, and I'll see you in Paula.
All right, thank you guys.
See you, man.
Have a good night.
You too.
All right, bye.
All right. Thanks for Freddy Noren jumping on. I want to thank Justin Cooper, Malcom Stewart, Jordan Troxell, Derek Rankin, Derek Kelley, and Fast Freddy Noren. That's a big show.
That was a big show.
Yeah.
Does Sweden not do a donations team? I
Yeah,
feel
He just said he was.
He's gonna do it.
Sorry, guys. I got.
If you look on, if you
Okay, I guess we have a new segment. Pulp from X has. Was it Mark's new segments? I wasn't listening.
yeah,
We also have.
I wasn't paying attention.
I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. Some deep down in the back of my head, I knew not to ask that question, and I did anyways.
We're gonna beat him down to where
said I
he's like he won't ask any questions ever.
Oh, I'll just be over here peeing myself and
He's like,
being
"I should've
quiet.
Never tried that dick.
What?
It's a joke. I'm sorry, nothing.
Wow. Maybe we ought to
What
cut
kind
that
of-
out.
What did they make that one down at the gay bar that you go to?
Rodney Carrington.
Yeah, I never really cared for
never
that. That was that.
Yeah, I don't think Darkside's listening to a guy that plays guitar and tells jokes with the cowboy hat on.
I've listened to some musical comedy before, but I can't remember the guy's name that I actually. Well, Adam Sandler's one, but yeah, I didn't care for the country stuff.
He didn't really play a lot of songs, just a couple.
It's kind of was his whole thing.
Yeah,
It was
when-
stand up
when
with
he,
some
when he
songs.
did, I saw him in concert, and it was like mostly music
Oh,
and with
okay.
bits and
I've
pieces.
seen
So
his specials.
yeah.
I've never seen it.
But there's another guy I can't think of now that did like a lot of songs. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're going to wrap this thing up. I want to thank Cherubies USA, Race Tech, Fly Racing, X-Brand Goggles, Works Connection, Torque One Racing, R Jerky, Berm Lords, Graphics, and Jersey ID, Shock Socks, Williams Motorworks, Extreme Colors, Blood Lubricants, Power Band Racing, TruFusion Sports, and Grill Your Ass Off. Again, guys, some of the sponsors that we don't mention all the time, like TruFusion Sports, if you guys are out, if you're doing any kind of athletics and your body gets sore and you're aching, I mean, this stuff's good stuff. They support our show. Hit me up if you don't remember the information. Just hit us up on our email, motoxpodshow@gmail.com. We can get you a discount code. It's really good. You're supporting the riders. You're supporting the show. Same with all these other sponsors. Grill Your Ass Off when you're cooking, our Jerky, Blood Lubricants, the promo.
Oh, you're saying that there needs to be a segment where they said the Scotty doesn't know segment.
Oh, yeah. Scotty doesn't know how old you are segment. Anyway, guys, I think that's a wrap. Probably 2 weeks off. I might release something next week when I'm in California, but it won't be like a live show like this. So we'll see what we can do. Appreciate everybody listening. Thank you for supporting us. We're out. Okay.
Later, YouTube guys. Appreciate y'all. Y'all been strong tonight in the comments. I didn't know you were actually gonna do it.